Hello everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to the OSC mid-season playoff broadcast today, as we're going to take you guys through some games from the OSC mid-season playoffs, believe it or not. Shock horror. Shock horror. Hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone is excited for some games. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. Let's run through what we're going to be covering today. We've got 7 best of 3s. We're going to be doing the following matches. We're going to be doing Solar versus YoungYakov, Spirit versus MindelVK, Mana versus Trigger, ByuN versus Art, Shin versus Percival, ShoWTimE versus Bunny, and Nikoract versus Arafire. These are all winner bracket matches from the OSC mid-season playoffs, apart from Nikoract versus Arafire, which is a lower bracket match, if I am not mistaken. So, basically run through all the winner bracket round of 16 matches that currently exist, and then going into one of the lower bracket matches, and that's going to be our broadcast for the day. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's go cast some StarCraft 2. YoungYakov versus Solar, some ZVZ to start us off today. Get this underway and started, and let's see what our day will bring us. Let's hope for some good games. Let's hope for some fun StarCraft as we head into the top left-hand side. We have got ourselves the red Zerg player here, YoungYakov, going to be opening us up and taking us away against Solar, the blue Zerg, in the bottom right corner of the map. 7 best of 3s coming up. Like I say, should be a fun one as we get through. And yeah, get to enjoying some games. How's everyone doing in the chat? I'd love to see some of you guys here so soon and so early. We get started nice and quickly today. As, yeah, 2025, a year of being grateful for ZVZ, so strange. It's a little bit, isn't it? Yeah. So rare we see a ZVZ. I kind of wonder what this one's going to look like, because obviously, you know, Yakov is most likely an underdog here against Solar, realistically, just, you know, straight off the bat. So we'll see if he can put up a good fight. I don't think Yakov has a good chance to kind of show a good fight. I don't know if he's got a chance to win a map necessarily. I don't know, you know, if I was a betting man, I would not say I'd kind of bet on him to take a map, but I don't think this is necessarily going to be like a dull game. Although, that said, to be fair in ZVZ, like sometimes ZVZ is just a case of the better player just hits that all in a little bit too smoothly for the opponent to really do anything about, right? So, yeah. Definitely a fun way of looking at things as we get set up and ready to rumble. So yeah, Overlord's coming across the map. It's just Hatch, Gas, and Pool on both sides, so nothing to really comment on or show just yet. We'll follow this Overlord for a little longer as we continue to scout across to the other side, and we get settled in. Did we save ShoWTimE Bunny for last? I'm doing them in the order I got told to do them in, basically. Which I'm pretty sure is just bracket order, so we're going to do all the 6 winning bracket matchups first, and then the lower bracket matchup as the last one. Which kind of makes sense, right? Makes it a little bit smoother. I always like kind of keeping the better matchups to last, but I think for the sake of one best of 3, and it being different rounds, I think it makes sense like this as well today. No Man Explosion says, thank you so much for casting. It's 3 AM. And you're going to sleep to the voice. Nice. Love it. I'll make sure not to make the ZVZ too exciting for you then. As you do see a couple of Lings going to start coming across the map. And they're going to make their journey over to the bottom side. And as we do have the couple Queens on the way, the Ling speed is coming up. And the Hatchery coming in on both sides as well. So we get that started up here at the moment. As the Lings will, yeah, just be maneuvering around. We'll see what these first couple of Lings can do as they get down toward that hatchery. There's already a couple of Lings there, so I think we should just be fine with the Queen. And that should be an easy defense as these couple of Lings get turned around as well. A little bit of back and forth. I will just take a second to pop health bars on, guys. Just me typically making YouTube thumbnails before the stream and not fixing the health bars. When is this streamer going to stop getting away with it, you know? Unbelievable. Players have started to fly for Dallas. Yes, they have. It's travel days for Dallas. Dallas going to be happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's kind of weird to actually have a weekend where it's like, hey, you can't run a tournament because there's actually a big tournament going on. You're like, it's like, what? That's a thing? It's been a weird, like, 7-8 months of just not really much of anything going on, and now we have so many events happening. Getting back into that rhythm of just kind of juggling tournaments around and throwing in streams wherever we can, casting some replays when we get the opportunity as well. Love it. You watch these streams until 6 a.m? Oh, yeah. You guys are up all late, huh? You guys are all up late watching StarCraft. Rotron coming down here from Solar in the natural, the missile upgrade coming through on the evolution chamber, add an extractor on, and we still have a Zergling out in the middle of the map, so that Zergling just going to sit out over here. A couple of overlords will be chilling nearby. Still got the lair, still got the evo chamber, Rotron as well, continuing to build up for the moment, so all of that coming through, as we do have the Zergling still making its way out over to the upper right side. Being going to be there, the Feelings and a Bane going to be there as well. Again, drone's coming up. Lyra's going to be finishing shortly. The evolution chamber about to complete as well. And we have that finished as the few Zerglings come down onto the other side of the map. So just going to make their way straight over here. So the other couple lings making their way through. Missile upgrade, Roaches on the way up. The Lyra is coming in on both players. We've got the extractors coming through as well. So just have the few lings and the queens are going to sit there and hold tight. It's going to keep a few of those Zerglings at bay as a few shots continue to come out right now. Again, the missile upgrade on the way out. The Spire building from Yakov here in the main base. So he's going to show something a little bit different to usual. And Solar not getting overly aggressive with the lair coming up now from Solar. Looks like we're going to get a pretty regular kind of setup from Solar and a pretty regular game in these early moments. Here Roach is coming through. Zergling goes down. I'm just going to be seeing that melee upgrade coming up as well. You remember when WTL was the bin? I'm like, yeah. You know what it is though? Like, WTL really kind of sucked that it was on every weekend. I could understand if they took maybe one day of the weekend, but like being on every single weekend for like 11 weeks is pretty like... It's pretty aggressive to like any other tournament happening though. I get that everyone wants to run stuff on weekends, but I really feel like if you're a long-term tournament taking place over like a, you know, a set period of time, I really feel like running on the weekend is kind of a... it's kind of like a shitty move for everyone else trying to do StarCraft stuff, you know? Like, obviously, I try to stream every weekend, but, like, you know, I don't only run my tournaments on the weekends, right, to, like, maximize things with them. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's weird, because, like, obviously, people can run stuff whenever they want, but, like, I feel like WTL should have not been every single weekend, because, like I say, it just made scheduling other things and other tournaments, like, an absolute pain in the butt. It was pretty rough. We lost sponsorships over it, to be honest. We had a couple of big tournament sponsors coming out, and they were like, hey, we really want to run like this. And they're like, obviously, like, one of the main things we wanted, you know, we wanted to end on a weekend. And I was like, okay. And I was like, the only problem is there's World Team League. I was like, so we can probably maneuver around. And they're like, oh, no, we wanted to run on a weekend where there's nothing else on. I was like, well, we actually lost, like, 2 tournaments because of this a couple of years ago. So it's pretty sad. I mean, what can you do? I mean, would rather have WTL, I guess, just, yeah, could have been better. Like, it's like I say, it's hard to kind of tell people who are kind of giving you a bunch of money for the tournament that, like, there's not a weekend that is completely empty. And the problem is WTL ran right across that kind of weird period where it was, like, slap bang in the middle of, like, the typical streaming time as well. Yeah, it was rough. It was pretty rough. Roach is coming up. Anyways, Ling's coming through. The few meters poking about. As we do see Yakov making a play to try and deny Solar's 4th base here. As the Roach is going to show up, and that hatchery is going to go down. So that hatchery will fall. And there we go. Did Masters Coliseum take the weekends? Yeah, well, I didn't agree with the Masters Coliseum schedule either. I mean, taking like 7... It was like 7 weeks of weekends, right? Because it did group stages over like 4 weekends. Like, it was like a group per weekend or something. Yeah, that was silly. Like, 7 weeks for the tournament is a little excessive. Same thing, right? Like, I just think it's very, you know, I'm obviously biased because I'm the guy who's in a weird place where, like, I run a lot of tournaments, but I obviously don't run big enough tournaments for it to, like, really matter to other people. So it's like, I'm in this kind of weird guy in the middle where it's like, I really feel, you know, I really feel hard done to. Because I'm like, God damn it, I want to run some of my stuff on the weekends, and then when other tournament organizers take up, like, every weekend for 2 months, it's like, it feels bad, you know? But yeah, what can you really do? It's just the way of the world. This little burst from Solar coming across is going to knock down a bunch of things. And as the mutas come back over, that's going to be heading in towards the Roaches. I tell you what, you know what, the main thing is just the fact that I feel like since COVID, people really realized they could run online events and drag out online events. I think that's what it really comes down to, you know? Like, running formats where it's like, basically like, you know, a group plays across 2 or 3 days when it could play across 1 day or something. Like, this really became a thing after COVID, where people were just like, hey, what if we just run online events and make them really long? It's the same with the regionals. We did not need the regionals to be like 3 freaking weeks long and then playoffs, you know? Like, 90% of these games were not super important. They could have absolutely condensed it down and made it much more watchable. And honestly, like, I think that would have made for a better product. The problem is getting less viewers per stream, but streaming more is more powerful for the ESL regionals for what they were trying to do than having like a few streams that then hit big viewership. So yeah, it was very it's very dictated by that. But like, I really feel like that was a very negative trend. And don't get me wrong, I'm the king of, you know, making tournaments that do not exactly have the most straightforward of formats, but at the very least, you know, when I run tournaments, it's like, hey, you know, if a player plays in a group, that's 1 day. You know, I don't think I ever really make groups to go take place over multiple weeks or anything. Maybe I do. I mean, I guess European League used to take place over multiple weeks and stuff. But then I also wasn't putting European League Saturday and Sunday prime time. It was like, you know, Wednesday and Thursday evenings, you know? I think that's the, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have just been more aggressive with my tournaments, you know? How about casting the game? I mean, I could do, you know? But as a wise man once told me, being a StarCraft 2 streamer is not really about casting the game in front of you. It's oftentimes about interacting with the chat and telling stories. Who was that wise man? I don't actually know. It's been a while. You're just gonna get there, and the Overseer going down. Game is pretty sick. I'm not disagreeing. We're watching it. We're watching it. Watching the meters flop about. Yakov has put himself in a fun position because he's got so many meters out. The thing is, though, Solar's got 29 Hydras and 8 Infestors. Like, Solar has an army to fight this off. So I'm not sure that this is going to be super scary, to be honest. I actually think that those Banelings are going to be manageable. He just needs to hit a couple. I mean, he just hit the Fungals, right? But, like, I actually do think that he's got the amount of Infestors needed to just hit the Fungals here. And it'd be okay. Let's see, as we are going to try and drop a Fungal down on that first group of Banes, maybe. They turn away. The Roach is trying to get in front, protect the Hydras. Obviously, keep that Hydra count high. And you are going to succeed against those meters as well. King Bane meter heading down to the south. So actually going to counterattack here as Yakov. Immediately this base goes down for him already. Well, Bane's crashing through. Meters are going to fly in. Just going to be seeing the few Banes continue to morph right now. We're going to see that Fungal growth. That's why the Fungals are so good. Fungal just lands onto those Banelings and they get completely stopped. Get 15 drones or so overall. These few lings in this mineral line doing wonders. Does this sound quiet? I feel like this sounds really quiet today. I feel like Banelings are crashing in and not making any sound. Let's continue to clean up. Just going to see the rest of the Roach Hydra coming up to the top. I mean, this is just a big push now. Yakov lost a lot of his supply on that attack, and he lost, obviously, the base going into it as well. He lost a few drones being harassed also. And we just continue to come across. This is an army right now from Solo, which is, like I say, looking pretty darn terrifying. And I don't think is really going to be halted. The Muta's going to counterattack, though. Fungal growths, microbial shrouds too. Another fungal going to try and catch those mutas. Can we actually keep them fungaled? I don't think we have another one, so we're going to let them go. But there's so much on the other side of the map as well. Roach Hydra Infestors is going to be continuing to play cleanup, and that is looking good. Hydra's Roaches coming back home. He's going to have to deal with the mutas. We turn into something of a base trade. Just gonna see 69 drones going down, 70 drones going down. GG gets called, and Solo is gonna take game 1 of this best of 3. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec. Alright, we're going to be going to game 2 here in a second. Very disciplined play to pull back. It was, I think Solo just knew that the one way that this game does get, gets away from him is he just lets the mutas go kind of run rampant. He had plenty to kind of pull back and just continue to deal with it as well, right? So, very well handled. Yeah, I just wanted to come back to, someone said it's interesting it's viewed as a downside for more views but sparser streams. It's because one of the things that sponsors really like, or one of the numbers that is very powerful, I assume, is viewer hours, right? So the amount of views you have times by the hours that those amount of viewers watched for, right? So I imagine it's much easier to sell a high viewer hour number than it is to sell like a peak viewership number, right? So I imagine what ESL were doing is they told us this was the reason they ran the regionals as they did, is because they needed to hit high viewer hours. And the only way to do that is to have a lot of streams. By having a lot of streams, those first sets of streams, the first 2 weeks, always got lower viewership. And honestly, I think that probably affected the viewership later down the line as well. But it was probably also a more reliable way to kind of sell the content as well, right? So it makes sense, right? Like, if you have more, it works in my sense as well. Viewer hours is very good because for me, running ads is very good. So if I can get more viewer hours, like for me, if I run a $10,000 tournament, it's better for me if I find a way to run that $10,000 tournament over 12 days because I do 2 sets of groups and 3 or 4 days of playoffs or something, right? That's better for me because even if that's less viewership per day, I get to run more ads overall, for example, to make the money back because there's more people watching over a longer period of time than if I just ran a $10,000 tournament over 3 days, which then doesn't quite hit that kind of same opportunity to run the same amount of ads, and ads are one of the main ways that we really fund these tournaments, so yeah. Yeah, kind of an interesting little tidbit, I guess. Interesting way to look at it. Ads in between each games. Yeah, man, I mean, I gotta run them ads. Look, the day that someone shows up and wants to sponsor us for the same amount of money that the ad revenue brings in, I will stop running ads in an instant. If someone wants to come in and pay half of my income just monthly, you're very welcome to. I'll stop running ads right now. But the reality is that is not going to happen, believe it or not. So I know ads are not fun, guys, but they are sustainable. Where a lot of tournaments don't exist unless people, come in and crowdfund them or, find a sponsor or something. Like, a lot of our tournaments are sustainable with a combination of ads plus the support from you guys. The beautiful thing of ads is, like I say, it's something of a consistent, right? So even if, our sub count goes down a little bit, if the viewership is still there, I know I can get a certain amount of money out of ads, and that is something that really does keep tournaments continue to get pumped out, So, yeah. How were casters' regionals or schedules decided during the regionals? Remember you and Loco doing the Asian portion sometimes rather than the EU portion? I think if you did Asia, you always did EU, no? It kind of depended, so in the first year or two, the Oceanic and Taiwan regions and stuff were actually run by ESL Australia. So that was the first half of the day. It was actually run by a completely different production team to who ran the European and NA production, or the European and Latin American production. And then in the last year or two, we had no production team. It was just me or ByuN doing the production, and then it kind of got condensed down. That was when it was just Asia, Europe, and Korea, right? Instead of Asia, Europe, and Americas, rather than having the 5 different smaller regions like Europe, NA, LATAM, Taiwan, China, Oceania, right? Because they were different regions. So yeah, when basically it came down to eventually when it came down to Asia, Europe, and America, we didn't get separated by region or anything. Like, whoever got hired for that day just got hired for that day. But before, when it was like Oceania and stuff, that was like all ESL Australia. So they would do like, I think they would do like 2 matches of Oceania into 2 matches of like China or whatever, or something along those lines. Anyways, when they finished, we would start Europe and Americas. And that was, like I say, just a different broadcast team, so... yeah. That's why Pig's tournament drags on for so long. I don't know about Pig's tournament because I don't know if Pig really runs that many ads or anything. I think Pig just I actually don't know. Yeah. He honestly, like, I got surprised by how slowly Pig's tournament went. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he just does interviews, right? And like he's in no rush to get into the next game. He just runs things in a very different way to what I do. Like when I'm dealing with players, you know, like I never want to inconvenience the players. So I always want the players to be ready to play the next game. I want them to be able to get going. I want their next match to be available, you know. And if they're not playing, I want to make sure that there's a good reason for that because, you know, the schedule just, you know, demands it, or you know what I mean? I don't like just kind of, you know, you will never find me just sitting around talking or interviewing or filling 15 minutes or something for the sake of drawing out the show. Because, to me, the most important people to keep happy are the players. And also, my tournaments are a little bit less worthwhile for the players because they're typically smaller prize pools for a little bit more time investment or day investment. So, whenever I do have the players here, I try to be, you know, as efficient as possible with their time because, you know, I feel like that's only fair on them. They're, you know, showing up to a tournament that's a little bit less valuable for them. The best I can do is make that as, you know, clean an experience as possible, you know? So yeah, I think, yeah. It's just different things. I think if you run a tournament once every 6 months or something, and then you're, you know, running $10,000 over the course of a week, you have all the right to just make your days as long as you want them to be, you know? You know, the players know going in what they're getting into, that's no problem. I can say the players for me know that they're getting into generally very efficient tournament days if they show up. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure they're in and out as soon as possible. This is pretty rough for Yakov. When he attacked from solo, obviously did a lot of damage, and Yakov is going to respond with his counter-attack across the map. Now, both of them are kind of on low tech. Solo just has a lot of roaches already, so as Yakov attacks in, he just loses pretty much everything, and Solo is going to take game number 2. It's going to be GG's, and Solo takes the first series of the day just like that. Powerful ZVZ from Sola. So it makes it look easy. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that. Our next matchup, guys, is going to be Spirit versus MindelVK. You like to hear the insight? Always happy to share it. If anyone's ever curious, then I'm very happy to share that. I want to get to know the players. I'd love to hear from Max Specs when he wins, ask him about himself, his aspirations. One interview for 5 minutes, the end would serve the channel well. Yeah, but do you know how, like my tournaments don't really, like, my tournaments aren't that important that we should be asking the players how they felt about this match. The players don't come into these tournaments and think, right, like, this is it, I've prepared for the WardiTV tournament today. Like, it's just not like that. They're going to show up, and I'm going to ask them, so, you know, how, you know, what do you think of the games? He's like, well, you know, I won some. You know, I obviously lost that one. To me, I just don't think that's interesting. It's like, so, what's your goal for next WardiTV Monday? He's like, I'm going to show up, and, you know, I'll probably get top 4 at the very least. Depends if I meet Clemo Hero in the semi-finals. Like, I don't think there's any interesting stuff to get on an interview from the players from my tournaments. I just don't think my tournaments are big enough to create any interesting questions. And like I say, I don't think it's worth the players' time to hang around for extra time, have to come on mic and camera and talk and stuff. Like I say, my tournaments just aren't big enough for that. These are not the big kind of cool tournaments or anything. I don't think the players are eager to come on and like share their life story for the sake of playing the tournament. I think they're like, cool, I came, I played my games, I got some money, done, you know? So, I appreciate it might be cool for some of you. I would absolutely hate it. It's just not for me. Obviously, there's other people that are doing those interviews and stuff, so absolutely go and find them. But it's just not something I'm into at all. Like, maybe at like our end of year championship or something, it would be cool, but like, even then, like, it's not like, I'm so satisfied when someone plays a game of StarCraft 2, they play their match, they finish, and I'm just like, cool, that was a cool series. Every now and then I might have a rare question and be like, hey, what about that? Did you think about this? But for like 99% of the time, I'm just very content having watched the game and leaving. I don't have the inquisitive mind to kind of like go in and deep dive the questions of the game. Like I'm just not about that at all, you know? So that just doesn't interest me. It's like at Home Story Cup. Every time we're at Home Story Cup and someone wins a series and they come over to the couch, I'm just like, I've got no questions because I'm very happy we just watched this best of 3. Like that was very cool. And you know, everyone else is asking a question about this Bane lane or that Queen position. I'm just like, honestly, I don't care. Like it was there. it was there, you know? Like I just don't have that kind of interest. So yeah. I appreciate the kind words, but it's not about me feeling as though how good of a commentator I am or how good my channel is or something. It's about the fact that, you know, these top guys play my tournaments, but like these are not the top tournaments out there in StarCraft 2 at the end of the day. Like, you know, they might be great to watch, they might be fun, you know, for you guys and stuff, but like at the end of the day, when you talk about like what the players can earn per hour, like my tournaments are not the top of the top, they're not the bottom of the bottom, but you know, they're fairly mid. You know? And so it's kind of okay. Like we're just a community stream. We're just running community level tournaments, you know. So yeah, at the end of the day, we're just running community level tournaments. There's only really so much we can kind of do in that kind of aspect. I think it's good to kind of know our place as a community level tournament. I don't think we need to be doing interviews and stuff, you know. We are going to go to Tokamak for our opening game of the next series, which will be Spirit versus MindelVK here in the OSC mid-season playoffs. OSC usually has an extended map pool. What are the current maps being played in this tournament? Ooh, Spirit Crusher. Spirit Crusher, Sandworm, and Oceanborn. Actually a pretty cool collection of other maps being added to the ladder map pool for this OSC season. I like that. I've got that British efficiency going on. I think it's probably just more of a flaw as me as like a commentator, actually, because like I say, I hate doing interviews. To me, my brain doesn't pick up on the things in the game to the point where I'm like, I need to ask about that, or I need to know. Like, I'm like this in a lot of aspects of life where I don't feel the need to I don't feel the need to go and you know, find out more. I'm very content with what I'm given or what I'm told or what the conversation was already at, you know. So yeah. So that's a little bit of everything. Anyway, let's get into this PVT. Today's one of them days where we're on a full-on strike. What about Home Story Cup interviews? Yeah, I hate them because I don't watch the game. I don't have an interviewer's mindset. I don't have the inquisitive mindset to come out of a best of 3 in Home Story Cup and be like, so what did you think about his build in that game? It's like, I don't really care what you thought about his build in that game, actually. You know, like, that doesn't change my life. I enjoyed watching you play against the build. I enjoyed the build playing out. What you thought of that build, or what you think maybe that build should have done instead is of no importance to me. I like living in the moment, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. You will notice this if you watch next Home Story Cup. You will notice that I will always be the last person to ask a question in the interview, and I will almost always just... Sometimes I will just say, no, I've got no question, when people turn to me and they're like, Wardy? And I'm like, nope, no question here. And then a lot of the time I might just ask about who they're going to play next, or, you know, maybe like more general questions. I really just don't like interviewing. I hate it. I really hate it. I'm so good I can cast but not watch the game. But I do watch the game. It just, the game, like those parts of the game don't stick to me because I don't like when Harston watches a game, he's probably like, man, hey, what do you think about the fact that you put your probe in this corner instead of that corner trying to hide it from the Reaper? Is there a reason for that? And I'm just like, oh, he put his probe in a corner, you know? like I'm just not asking these extra questions. I'm just very happy to see the game going on. I like to learn, I like to know more, I like to understand more, but I don't like, I guess, inquiring myself to kind of find that info, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I can ask questions, I just, I've learned to be able to ask questions, yeah, I'm not great at it. That probe recall. Oop, oop. It's worth it to recall the probe though. If you're trapped in the main base, it's officially worth it to recall the probe instead of letting it die to the Reaper. It's actually if someone did the math at some point, because obviously you could argue that energy on the recall could have been a chrono boost, and so that's why it was up in the air. There's the Reaper and the Adept. It's going to come about. I'm just going to be seeing the Adept going to shade forward as we go for a little bit of back and forth here right now. And that Reaper will try and find a little bit more. The Adept's going to commit to the shade, so go onto the map a little bit. Let the Reaper into the natural. Yeah, that probe. The Reaper coming back around the other way. Maybe just escaping out of there. Blink coming over, Warp Gate coming through. And just continue to get going. I'm not quite invested in the technical nitty-gritty details of high-level play. I mean, I think there's a level. Like, I do like the information. I love a lot of the stuff that Hearthstone tells me. But like I say, for me to enjoy a game of StarCraft in this day and age, I don't need all of that information, right? Which is why I think that I don't go out of... Like I think that's what it is. I think it's like, do I need to know more about that game to really reflect on it and enjoy it? And sometimes I will have a question. Like, sometimes I'll message players after a game and be like, hey, what happened there? Or something, you know? Right? Like, so I have that at a certain level. It's just for my general enjoyment of the game, I don't need to ask those questions. So I don't feel like we need to me, I never need the interviews. I've never been an interview guy. So, yeah. Anyways. We have ourselves a couple of Stalkers going to be there. The Reaper goes the other way. It's going to be having the Stalkers able to make a nice little deflection so far. Keep this back. As you have a couple of Marine, Siege Tank, Raven all building up. The Stalker going to go pinging onto the Hellion. That blink is about to finish as our Nexus comes online as well. A couple of Assimilar is on the way up. And that Raven and the Siege Tank coming through. Okay, I've got one final point. And then I promise I'm going to drop this. I actually think the best part about a good interviewer is they find questions you didn't realize you wanted the answer to, right? I think that's a very good skill of an interviewer, someone who can ask a question that elicits an answer that the audience actually wanted to know an answer to, that they didn't necessarily know they wanted an answer to. Anyone can be like, hey, that was a controversial moment in the game, you did the build wrong. What happened? Right? Anyone can do that, but not everyone can kind of find the nitty-gritty question that's like, that brings out the answer where the audience is like, oh, wow, I didn't even think of that, you know, that's really cool. Man, interviews are awesome. I think it's fair to say I'm just not that level of interviewer, especially not, I think this is the thing as well, so many of the interviews we're forced to do is interviews where it's like, we've just been watching the game. Like, if I got to watch a game and you told me to, like, find interesting questions about the game, I'd probably do a much better job if I was just watching the game. But to pick out those moments and specifically think about them while casting, I think is very difficult. And I think that's probably the thing where it's like, I feel like I could absolutely interview someone and ask some kind of whatever questions, but I know there's interviewers that could do a much better job, and I don't think I could do that same thing coming out of having casted the game, if that makes sense, you know? Anyway. That's, I promise I'm done. I promise. Marines tank joined together. The Raven is nice, gets a few workers here right away. 4 probes going down, so pretty decent start. As the Raven just going to completely stop this third base from mining. Now we got the Widow Mine burrowing up, and that's going to be going for a probe in the main base as well, so a little bit of annoyance of Widow Mine on the natural too. MindelVK is dealing with this well in the sense of he's moving his workers away. He's not letting that big connection go off. But it's pretty brutal because he's kind of getting pushed around a little bit. The MindelVK will get out just about. These Stalkers might still catch it. They will catch it, so that's a nice kill. As Spirit is coming across the map, starting to step down to the other side. He's bringing a lot of bio over. 3rd CC on the way from him as well. Siege Tank actually getting caught by a few of the Stalkers already. We have a MindelVK there that can easily save the Siege Tank. That blink was a little bit adventurous. I don't think MindelVK was expecting the next wave of units because they're kind of coming across in a weird kind of pattern. Like, there was 2 different big clumps of units making their way across the map there. And like I said, I don't think that Mindel was really expecting that second wave to be so sizable. And as he blinked in after the tank a little bit, he's like, oh crap, there's actually so many more units there than I initially thought there was. Bio pulls back, Zell taking some damage. You're going to try and dive the Colossus. It's never a good sign when the Terran has enough to just click into your Colossus on a natural expansion. That's almost never a good sign, as the next Colossus is going to get saved by the Zealot showing up, and we actually do lose quite a bit of the bio there in the end. A couple of Wooden Mines coming about. Colossus is going to fire away. We got a little bit of bio unloading to the right side. There's a drop in the main base at the same time, and damage really is just ramping up at the moment here. Out of our Terran player, getting so much done. 8 probes going down, and MindelVK is just in a world of trouble. His economy is going to be actually not even as bad as I thought, but equal workers with a Terran who has obviously triple mule available is going to favor the Terran player as well, so that's going to be a nice win on the Terran side. I think it's fair to say that everything here is definitely looking toward Spirit in this game, number 1. Not done yet, but yeah, definitely starting to lean towards Spirit. He was obviously a favorite coming into this game as well. Spirit has been very solid lately. MindelVK pulls back up to the top. +2 attack coming in, Stalkers and Sentry coming in, Concussive Shells and the armor upgrade building up as well. Ghost Academy will drop into the back. MindelVK boosting around in that bottom left-hand corner. Again, Sensor Tower gets placed into the center. MindelVK will unload a couple Marines and a Marauder out to the left side. A few Vikings gather up as well. Because of shells, upgrade continue to come about right now. I'm just going to be seeing the Vikings and the MindelVKs heading downward to the bottom side of the map. +2 attack upgrade coming in as well, so we just can bring all of that up into play. And this Viking bio looking for a push down to this 6 o'clock. Vikings going to go after the Colossus, going to be able to get one. It's a nice catch. So one Colossus already going down. Obviously the higher Colossus count is meant to be kind of a scary part of this game for the Terran player, but I'm not sure if Spirit really sees this as a scary part of the game at the moment. +2 finishing soon. The extended thermal lance will be on its way. Still having ourselves the army of Mindel just setting out the front, and we get the rest of the bio coming across as well. And +2 attack upgrade building on in. Extended thermal lance coming over. Extra Vikings coming through the armory in production. The bio just pulling back a little bit. Raven sets itself out on the right hand side. Gonna go journeying over there a few moments. Still got the Temple Archives coming up as well. And yeah, Colossus +1 armor. Bit of everything on the way in. Just for the moment. Super Bion is settling down. I mean, Spirit's max, so I think he should just be out there and getting things going for himself again, to be honest. I think it is time just to go. As the army heads down to the bottom side. Vikings going to get a little grab, the Raven there as well to provide the vision necessary. We do loop our way all the way around the bottom. Again, extended thermal lance, armor upgrade. Continuing up for the moment. Another scan. Anti-armor missile is good. We get rid of one Colossus straight away. Second Colossus taking a damage. The Zealots come charging forward. The Vikings continue to go to work. Colossus taking a whole lot of hits at the moment, and that is going to be pretty solid fight from our Terran player, who is going to be up 60-70 supply coming out of it. Not really much else to say. The entire army was caught in anti-armor missiles, so the moment that everything got caught in anti-armor, I think everything was kind of decided from there. GG's, and Spirit is going to be taking game 1 of this best-of-3 series, and going to be going up. Our favorite here is going to cook himself up to an advantage as we'll head for game 2 in a couple of moments. Of course, gotta get Indy into these games. Once Indy gets in, we can go. Perfect. Alright, Spirit taking the 1-0 lead, heading into game 2 here. As we continue on through. If Spirit's to qualify for EWC, which does he make it on? Probably a last chance qualifier, right? EWC qualifiers are going to be so tough. It's really hard to imagine Spirit is going to get there outside of a last chance. Like, I feel like he's going to need as many attempts as possible, right? Top right side, MindelVK has our red Protoss player. Taking on Spirit in the bottom left side, our blue Terran. What are we thinking for game 2? Obviously, Spirit kind of took control early in that last game. Did kind of play into the later stage just to kind of get maxed out and then take another fight, but he probably didn't even really need to. But I think in the current day and age, if there's Colossus out, there's nothing wrong with taking your time. As long as the Colossus aren't out on the map and forcing fights into you all the time, I think you're fine as the Terran player to let the Colossus be there, get a proper answer to them, and then kind of approach that with a very solid army rather than just kind of a mishmash of something that might be able to get something done. Track's about to finish. The probe coming to the bottom. I think Terran will be the most represented race in EWC. Ooh. Well, they ain't gonna be Zerg, right? In best case, I reckon we have 5 Zergs. 18 players, isn't there? Best case, we have 5 Zergs. Terrans, you got like Maru, Clem, ByuN, Q, pretty good guesses. It's actually tough to say. 4 Zerg, 6 DOS, 10 rest Terran, 8 Terran. Really? 8 Terrans. Who do you think the 8 Terrans are? Genuinely curious. It gets interesting though, right? Because there's specific regional qualifiers. So I think that has a bit of an impact too. Classic creator, ShoWTimE hero. That's a pretty reason. I mean, creator's playing well at the moment, but I could also see creator choking his qualifying match, to be honest. Whenever it comes down to it. Kind of choked out at the last chance qualifiers last year, and yeah, that was rough. Focusing a gateway here, by the way, MindelVK. Big Gabe, I don't know how good Hero Marine is right now. I actually... It's hard to say, because obviously I think a lot of people are like at different levels than they usually are, and that might change with the qualifiers coming up. I wouldn't put Hero Marine in the top 18 players in the world at the moment. I don't think he's there right now. I don't think he's there right now. I think Spirit is better than Hero Marine at the moment, but I could be wrong. I actually don't know if it's that much of a difference either. It might just be a feeling, so... yeah. Not sure. So we're going to fire a few shots. Reapers and the Hellion going to be there to hit that Stalker in return. Another couple Stalkers showing up as we get settled down. Gabe played Astray in a show match, and Astray destroyed him. Yeah. I mean, Hero Marine played in a WardiTV tournament, no? He played in our Spring Championship, and he didn't make it out of groups. Which was unfortunate. He just wasn't quite... He's still good. I just don't know if he's, like... I think he would, like, be, like, on the verge. If EWC was 24 players, I could 100% see it. But EWC being 18 players, I think it's a bit too much. That was obviously a very effective Reaper Hellion, which is still going on in the main base for a little bit. Now the Stalkers across the map are causing trouble, and Spirit here is going to be on his way to the units that will help him out against that. Obviously that forward gateway helping out. The Widowmine here is actually going to get a Stalker as well, so now we could save this Widowmine if Spirit is paying attention, which he is. Going to save that and be able to bring that back later, so he's done a lot of damage. MindelVK down 6 workers in the game. Call down Depot here is going to be shot at, but it will be saved. Spirit steps forward and we'll bring the Marines in to try and push these Stalkers back. Raven there now, auto turret available. As soon as the tank is here, this is a defense, right? We don't have enough Stalkers to poke through a tank that's sieged up on the high ground, so I'm pretty sure as soon as we get the siege tank out that this should just come to a pretty cozy closing point. What am I going to unburrow against those couple of probes? Stalker still shooting over the command, taking damage. SCV is actually going to pull down to the low ground, so he actually exposes the tank. mean, Spirit is still kind of doing it, but that was just so unnecessary to kind of give up the tank like this. Now MindelVK is absolutely going to be able to stay in the game a little bit longer. Wouldamine's still there, by the way, is something Mindel needs to realize, otherwise that's going to be troublesome. But I think he's paying so much attention over here right now, trying to kill this base and as many of these units as he can. No, 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 no! Oh, that's disastrous. He noticed it too late. He noticed it and clumped his workers up just as it was coming off cooldown. Oh. I mean, just getting lost in the moment, right? It happens. There's another one of mine here, apparently, too. It happens. You get lost in the moment. You're busy across the map. You don't know when that mine last fired. You presume it's probably recently, because why the hell would the mine just be sat there recharging? You actually get a good few SCVs with these Stalkers, but apparently we're not going to see enough opportunity. I don't disagree. You've lost so much economy. You've got 2 army supply in the game. GG. And Spirit will take a 2-0 here in the OSC mid-season playoffs, round of 16 of the winner bracket. Alright guys, we're going to be getting into some PvP up next. We're going to have Mana taking on Trigger coming in the next few moments. Let me throw some ads around and I'll get this hosting up. We're going to just give it a couple minutes and we'll go into this PvP. Get that started. How many pass slots for America? Yeah, I think it's only 1. Because it's 2 GSLs. There's Clem, 2 GSLs. And then there's Star Azagora. 4 slots from Dallas. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then... what's the other one I'm thinking of? 2 from Korea, 2 from Europe. 1 from America, 1 from Asia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, and then I think it's actually different this year, because last year it was 16, and then the 2 other players joined in. But this year I actually think it's 14, and then there's like 4 other players join in, if that makes sense. So I think this year it's a bit more of a regular bracket where like the final 4 players play like an offline, play a tournament at the event, like a 4-player double elim, and you qualify into just the group stages at that point, into then a very normal bracket compared to usual. Yeah, the global qualifies for, yeah, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I bet his Trigger's quite happy right now that his PvP's been looking good. Maybe a big match against Australia. There's going to be a lot of big matches in the next couple months, guys. Like, next month, honestly, next couple months, next month is going to decide so much of the next few months of StarCraft 2. It's pretty crazy. They start the lower bracket. No, that's the old format. Yeah, that's the old format. That's not true anymore. Now, the last 4 players from the global qualifier, they play a 4-player tournament at Riyadh. They play like a 4-player double elim, and the top 2 advance into the regular group stages. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, before they last year, like, the groups played out, and everyone apart from like 2 players or something dropped down and played, like, you know, and then ShoWTimE and Shin joined them. This time around, everything's double elimination apart from like the top 8 playoffs. And it's pretty simply like, it's more or less like this. It's like the 4 players from the global qualifier play a play-in. The top 2 of those join the groups, which is then 2 sets of 8-player groups, which is just double elimination, and the top 4 from each group advance into the single elimination playoffs. It's actually a very good tournament format. It's much better than last year's. It's much better. Like, having top 8 be single elimination is absolutely fine. That's 100% okay. Like, the problem with single elim last year was there was like a 14-player single elim bracket to like decide the final slot or whatever. It was just silly. It was just silly. A little bit silly. All right, guys, let's jump into some PvP. We've got Mana versus Trigger coming at you here in today's OSC mid-season playoff. Shout out to OSC, as always, sc2online.com if you want to check out their website. They are, as always, running events throughout the year, supporting tournaments. They sponsor WardiTV Mondays. A big part of the reason why we're able to have $400 a week for that tournament. They are a big part of the reason why we are here pushing out as many tournaments, and they are running a lot of tournaments themselves, partnering up with people, once again being a very underappreciated kind of core of StarCraft 2's kind of community scene, for sure. Obviously, we always see that OSC Championship at the end of the year, or in January. It's always a ton of fun, always some great games in that. But yeah, it's definitely underappreciated, because they do so much for StarCraft 2 at the lower levels as well. And even, you know, supporting the higher levels too, just a bit more behind the scenes. So, anyways, PvP. And we get Mana versus Trigger coming up. As we have Mana in the bottom left side, will be our blue Protoss player entering this PvP best of 3. It's going to be, to me, the most competitive series of the day so far. Mana's been playing some really good StarCraft 2 recently. Like, he's actually been playing some great games and has been having some very good results. So, I would definitely not put this one as like a guarantee toward Trigger, who's also been playing amazingly lately. Made it into GSL for Season 1. Trigger's been fantastic. And I think, honestly, the majority of the time I'd say, yeah, Trigger's got to be the favorite here. But I actually do not think that, because obviously, like I say, Mana has been playing well recently. Mana has genuinely been playing some great games of StarCraft 2 as of late, and has had results to genuinely back it up as well. So, yeah, been great to see Mana performing a little bit. And not just in, like, you know, I know everyone thinks Protoss is OP right now, but he's been playing well in PvP as well, which is obviously important to note. So, yeah. Cool to see Mana playing some great games. Good to see someone who's been in the scene so long coming out and looking so great after such a long time. It's always a joy to see. Alright, well, you got this probe's going to go patrolling about. Probe over here is going to go for a little bit of a move around as well, trying to see a bit of what's up. Cybercore's coming in. Nexus coming online. Got to settle down. There's a couple of probes going to go chasing the other probe for a few moments. Sentry on the way on both sides. The Stalker building up on the gateways. Zelda coming up on the side of Mana. Probe still taking a little bit of a nibble. See that Stalker and Sentry pinging their way through that pylon, so damage being done. It's going to get that pylon cancelled up. The Nexus is going to drop down into the natural. Robo facility building on the side of Mana, so we are going to see both players with the expansion. And yeah, just a little bit more tech on the side of Mana with that Robo coming up. He's already got a couple of sentries out, then straight into that Robo. Trigger just getting the one additional sentry, which is where some of his extra gas is going in comparison to Mana, and there's his tech friction now coming down as the Twilight Council. That's where we are going to sit for the moment. That's Twilight Council coming through. This hallucination making its way across the other side. Sorry, guys. I'm fat fingering so many buttons lately. Apologies. My hands have been clumsy as of late. Keep hitting the wrong keybinds for stuff when I'm trying to do things. Yeah. This is what getting old feels like, guys. Keyboards becoming, you know, this thing I've been using for like 26 years or something is becoming my number one enemy. Yeah. Again, Blink will build on the Twilight Council. We get the Warp Gate coming up on both sides. The Observer in production on the Robo facility. And Immortal is on the way out as well. A few sentries will make their way down to the low ground. As, yeah, a couple of Adepts on the way. Had that Blink on. We get a lot of that building. And we do see a few units of Trigger just returning back to the upper right side of the map for the moment. So just bringing a lot of that back and away for now. And again, a couple of Adepts still shading their way around to see if there's any more action they might be able to bring to the table. Just going to head themselves down to the bottom side for the moment. Again, that Blink coming up on the Twilight Council, add the Immortal, add the few probes. And a lot of that coming straight into play. As the hallucination is out over to the left-hand side, just escaping up over there. A couple of the sentries going to go whacking through onto some of these Adepts. Adepts actually do get into the mineral line. They're going to find themselves a few probes. 3 workers going down. Continue to shade around to try and see if we can get a little bit more. 4, 5 workers going to drop. Pretty decent damage so far. Getting Blink on the way. Nexus coming through. The probe still building up as well. Gateway continues to produce forward for the moment. The Nexus coming on to the 3rd location. Well, Trigger's third is going to be that much sooner, so obviously getting in, doing some good damage ahead in workers. Has that more mobile army right now as well begin to get down to that bottom left-hand side? Destination going to fade away. A couple force fields still coming in. We'll see a couple of shots coming about. Immortal going to try and fight back a little as well. With ourselves 4 probes going down so far. Good amount of damage dealt here. Again, Robo, Forge, Probe, Stalker coming up. Our unit's still taking some damage. It's 7 workers going down so far. So 8 probes being knocked away at the moment. Again, that Prism is about halfway done. The Resonating Glaives is going to start up. Still got our Probe, still got our Forge coming through. Damage is being done by Mana on the other side. Getting so many workers here. Is that just some Adepts that have just done all of that? Wow. Well, Trigger unsuccessfully attacking through. Meanwhile, Mana has masses of success. These Stalkers are going to get themselves in a weird place. The Prism will be saved by the battery and actually will live through. Stalkers have to blink into the main, and now as they leave, they're going to be met by some other units. The Prism is there to actually bring the Immortals around for the journey. I guess we're going to just recall in the corner. The Immortals might be able to get 2 Stalkers here. This gets the one. Wasn't quite in range to hit that second one, so... Not great for Trigger, though. I mean, Mana gets a good few moments in this game. Good trades, good worker damage dealt. On his way to Glaives, and definitely looking to try and be deadly in the near future then. As he gets that set up. Stalkers hang about. Hallucination heading to the bottom left side. A couple of sentries will just be right there. The Hallucination chased away already. And again, the Resonating Glaive still building up. +1 in the charge coming online as well. Had an Immortal on. Had those gateways on. Stalker's also still just coming out down to the bottom left side of the map here. Actually, we'll get rid of the Warp Prism, which is a nice addition as well. So that Prism goes down. Mortal Stalkers and Sentries still stepping through. The Resonating Glaives coming up. Having those Immortals out and keeping them alive means that Mana always has this army which is going to be fairly scary to Trigger's force, right? Like, anytime the Trigger kind of steps forward, the Immortals just being there is such a threat. Like, there's so much damage potential on those Immortals, and Stalker's just got to really respect those. You can't just go diving in and about or anything like that. Like I say, you got to really respect that. So it's the Archon hops on through. The +1 on the charge still coming up as well. Additional gateways in production. Pylons on the way out. And again, the +2 attack upgrade building from Trigger at the moment here. As we continue in with that. The battery coming through from Trigger as well. Just going to get that going. And again, a few more probes, a couple of cannons coming about. The neck Prism up on the top side. Getting set over to the top side. And those Zealots are going to come around the bottom as they head toward the natural. Is Trigger still in Korea? He is, but he's not playing in GSL Season 2. He didn't play the qualifiers. I can only imagine the travel for the next couple of weeks is just too much. Again, having to return to Korea after every tournament is pretty rough compared to maybe just staying around somewhere and then, or staying somewhere for a while and then traveling to the next one, you know? So yeah. I'm not sure what his exact plans are, but yeah, he's not playing GSL Season 2. None of the non-Koreans try to qualify for GSL Season 2. It's just a scheduling issue as far as I'm aware. Like I say, it's just flying back to Korea after every tournament is pretty rough. Nexus will be placed down on that 4th base in the next few moments. We get that 4th Nexus into place here. +2 attack coming up on both sides still. We do have our Zealots immediately in position, and Mana has to cancel that. So a nice little move from Trigger. Just having those prepped already ahead of time, having them in position works nicely. Force that to be delayed by 10 or 15 seconds. Again, the Disruptor, a couple of High Templars coming by, the Cannons coming up as well here currently, so we continue in with that. The Hallucination going to go poking at the Prism. And we do have this army of Mana still stepping forward for the moment out into the center of the map. The army of Trigger walking away. Trigger's going to have a faster +2 attack upgrade, which may make this a better fight for him if a fight comes around, which is obviously looking pretty plausible at the moment. Mana coming across the other side. Again, has that glaives, so it does have a few adepts mixed in here that could be good against the zealots. The problem is adepts do not fare well later into the game against archons, and so they're going to be pretty minimal in what they can really do. Trigger having a disruptor is nice. It's going to put a bit more pressure on Mana's army, force him to split away and kind of, you know, move it back a little bit. Interesting position. Trigger's pulling very far back. Going to let Mana walk into the stack defense. I don't like this for Mana at all. He moves to the right side. He's got to take down stack defense just to make sure he's not taking bonus damage throughout this. A couple of Archons that left side hitting a fake Colossus. That hallucination is working wonders. Trigger takes a super one-sided fight. Mana just walked into the trap. And he seems to know it as well, as Trigger is just going to slaughter that army. It walked right into its death right there. Trigger was like, oh, I'm going to back away. And Mana's like, perfect, the 4th base. And Trigger's like, I'm going to walk away. So that you're on the 4th base. And that's exactly where Trigger wanted him to be. Beautiful fight from Trigger. And just nothing really going Mana's way, quite frankly. So, GG. As we'll be heading into a game 2 then in a couple of moments. Alrighty guys, second map coming up. Trigger takes the first. And Mana bounce back here in the Protoss versus Protoss. To get this underway. Hope everyone's doing well today. Thanks for joining us for some OSC mid-season playoff action. Always fun to see you guys. And fun to bring you guys some games. And yeah, it's going to be my last stream for a few days because obviously Dallas is over the weekend. So next time you'll see me will be WardiTV Mondays 37. We have decided to run that at a reduced prize pool because a lot of players will be traveling. But hopefully we still get a few fun players as well. So, yeah. Will I be at DreamHack? No, I will not be at DreamHack. I'm staying here in cozy old England. This is the bottom left side. Our blue Protoss player is going to be Mana, down a game in this best of 3, taking on the red Protoss. In the top right, it is going to be Trigger. Where can we see the Dallas lineup and brackets? I have no idea, mate. If it's not on Wikipedia, it's probably not announced. So I would just check out the Wikipedia page for Dallas. And if it's not there, then it's not anywhere. Wikipedia is very good at updating. When it's known to the public, it will probably be on Wikipedia, I would say safely within an hour, but probably much sooner. So, yeah. But you can pretty much just, for the lineup, you can probably pretty safely assume that pretty much every single top player will be there. I don't think there's any reason that any of the top players will be skipping, to be honest. Obviously that doesn't help you bracket-wise, but like I said, the lineup really should just be everybody. So yeah. Players that play in this tournament probably do not play in Dallas. These games are pre-played. These games are pre-played. So, yeah. This does not affect anybody's travel or anything. Yo, thank you so much for the donation. Oh, I just missed your name. Let me open... Oh, I already have my stream elements opening. Roni Naruto, thank you so much for the £4 donation. Says thanks for all that you do. Thank you so much for supporting it, mate. Appreciate it. Your support goes a long way. Thank you so very much. Will I be casting the tournament? That'd be a, that's a great question. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you or not. Take from that whatever you will. I mean, I guess they didn't say I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna be casting over the weekend, but I have no idea on what channel or anything. I have absolutely no clue. I promise you, I really have been told very little apart from the fact I've agreed to be there. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I know. You thought it was live? Yeah, I know. Well, that's the beautiful part of StarCraft 2 replays, is that 90% of the time you don't know it's a replay. But yeah, these are still being cast for the first time. No one has seen these games outside of the players, so... When that is the case, I treat it as a live broadcast, because these games are still being broadcast live for the first time. If we're casting replays of a tournament that's being cast elsewhere, I will always endeavor to make sure you guys know that they are replays. In this case, you know, to me, this is just live, because this is the live broadcast of this tournament. It's the first time these games are being shown anywhere. A couple of Stalkers and the Sentries will be stepping down toward the bottom left-hand side. We're just going to have ourselves the Blink starting up on the side of Trigger. A couple of Force Fields coming down on either side as well, so we're going to get blocked in. Stalker going down for mana. The Stalker of Trigger going down now in return. A few Sentries taking some damage as well. Blink still coming up. Probes coming through. Stalker in production. As we continue to get underway, that Sentry going to get chased, getting killed off right now. A couple of Sentries and a Stalker together going to go through and get that Sentry as well. That Stalker of Trigger is kind of left on its own here, backing off and giving a little bit of space. Holy cheesy plays! I'm going to drop 10 WardiTV memberships on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for some extreme generosity. Thank you so very much. Not much happening here. You can shout them out. Going out to Uze, TH Lynn, Dennis, Jerome, Ben. A name I cannot read, unfortunately. Wrong language for me. Captain Ben, So Francisco, James, and Jeremy. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships over on the YouTube. That's freaking amazing. I don't think we've ever seen 10 gifted memberships on YouTube before. Some hype and some love in the chat, please. Thank you so much for supporting. It is still absolutely baffling to me when people... like, it still baffles me that the YouTube stream is successful enough that people support it. This might seem kind of crazy to you guys, but from my point of view, the YouTube stream is just like this little side thing that I just started doing because I got better internet and Twitch said we were allowed to do it. But it's like the fact that people like are out there supporting it and stuff is like, it's super crazy to me. Like, it's wild that it's become a real thing, you know? So thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you so much. Glaive is in +1. There's the choice from mana, so he's going to go into that kind of same setup as last time. Hopefully this time he really pounces, though. This time hopefully he really attacks. Because obviously, being that kind of defensive Terran, defensive Protoss with the Glaives does not make sense. And last time, he never really found the opportunity. So get in there, make that Glaives count, make that Glaives kind of really work. We obviously have a lot of Stalkers coming the other way. Trigger going to be applying pressure with these two. But we have some Adepts on the other side that could threaten and hit some mineral lines. My question is, do we have enough to survive against these Stalkers? That one Immortal on the front's a hallucination. I love that it's pre-hallucinated as well, because it makes Trigger really think that that's a worthwhile Immortal to kill. And if he wastes time hitting that Immortal, the real Immortals don't end up in as much trouble. So yeah, the fake Immortal goes down. The Adepts are going to start making their moves. Glaives is done. We're going to warp in at home. The two Immortals trying to do their thing. Couple of Force Fields being placed. Good defense for the moment. A few Adepts getting into that natural mineral line. A few Adepts up into the main mineral line. 10 workers going down. The Stalkers are going to start stepping back over in that direction. 13, 14 probes all dropping. As Mana is going to engage a beautiful counterattack with a great defense at home. Going to put himself in a very good position. The Adepts still moving about. The Observer going to settle in there. The Stalkers are going to begin to make a move to the upper right side as well. A lot of the Stalkers coming back around. Charge on the way up. The probes in production. We have ourselves, Trigger in a little bit of trouble. Down 10 workers. Down an upgrade as well. And uh-oh, those Stalkers getting caught as they move forward there. That's going to be a great catch. Stalker's going to get up to the top. A couple of the Adepts going down. We are going to see Mana still moving forward and still going to commit over on this side. We're going to see that pylon going down as well. The other Stalkers are coming across. We are going to be seeing the Immortals taking some big hits, taking some big damage. Mana is going to be losing a lot here, but he's got Adepts obviously in the mineral lines as well. They're going to continue to deal damage too. Mana might lose out. I don't even think he's going to fully lose out on this army. Like, he might lose, but he's cleaned up a lot of units of his opponent, and the Adepts just shaded up into the main base, which means even more workers going down. I think Trigger's in a irrecoverable position, honestly. There's a lot of probe damage as these Adepts will take a long time to get cleaned up. GG gets called, and we are going to go to a game 3. We are going to go to a game 3. Why do I think that? Well, about the YouTube, I don't know, because like the YouTube just like honestly, I was surprised whenever people ever started watching my YouTube in the first place. Like, I don't know, it's just I never expected it to do as well as it did, you know? I see a lot of people who start streaming on YouTube, like who are Twitch streamers and stuff. I see a lot of people who stream on YouTube as like an additional thing. The viewership is like they have like thousands on Twitch and they get tens of people on YouTube, you know? So the fact that we kind of get like 25% of our Twitch viewership on YouTube is absolutely bonkers to me. And like I say, the fact that it's big enough for people to actually want to support and like, you know, support, like I don't know, like I don't know why, just like that's just crazy that it's so successful. Like, yeah. One day I can start streaming in 4K bitrate on YouTube. That is the plan, but I can't right now. I don't have the technology. The technology literally does not exist in my room. Yeah. Austin was telling me how to set it up, and then he was like, wait, do you have this kind of a monitor? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh. He's like, buy this then. I was like, I can't buy that right now. It's way too expensive to just buy out of nowhere. I'm paying for... I'm in the process of paying for a wedding right now. Like, I can't just go buying fancy-ass monitors. So yeah, I think like either late this year or early next year, one or the other, we are going to be probably getting like a new PC and probably just like refreshing the entire studio kind of setup. So yeah, once we get like some better hardware and stuff, we'll do some higher resolution streams on YouTube. But I just can't right now. Like, I literally do not have a monitor that allows me to stream in 2 or 4K. It just does not happen. It's not possible. And the problem is as well, is if I stream at 4K, I have to record it in 4K. And I don't have a big enough SSD to store all my VODs if I record at 4K. So not only do I really need the monitor, but for my own sanity, so I'm not just constantly trying to delete VODs and upload them ahead and all of that, I need to get a PC that's a little bit better equipped ahead of time to be able to deal with that stuff as well, you know? So yeah. That's all. I just need to get past this wedding thing. It's kind of turns out weddings are expensive, so yeah, we get past the wedding and we'll put some stuff in. How many terabytes do I need? Well, right now I just have a 1 terabyte SSD, which is fine because I can store like about a month of streams comfortably on my PC with that, and that lets me kind of have some leeway if I'm behind on the YouTube uploads, for example. But like if I stream in 4K, it's like apparently like my file sizes are going to be like 5 times the size or more or something crazy. So yeah, I don't know. So just more. Simply put, I just need more. Or like maybe just another SSD. I can't be bothered just to add another SSD into this PC. This wasn't even my PC. My PC lost a fan on the one of the fans broke on the graphics card, and so this is actually Helen's PC, which she doesn't really use anymore. So I've just been using this. So yeah, it's kind of a chunky boy actually. It's actually very cool. So I'll probably yeah, I'll probably be getting a new PC and stuff as well, because this PC, I have a second PC that runs WardiTV and stuff. That PC is very old. It's really kind of past its due date, so I think for the sake of if I update that PC, I can go back to doing like some of the picture-in-picture stuff as well. It's just that PC is so old now, it's just not reliable. So yeah, basically I'm just in need of a whole refresh. Like I've been using like some of these monitors I've been using since we're in the freaking... You guys remember, like, I got 2 of these monitors were from when I first got the WardiTV, like, little office space. So that's when I first stopped casting in my parents' house. Right? So we're talking about, like I've had a couple of these monitors for, like, 10 years. Like, almost 10 years, because, like, basically that happened when I rebranded to WardiTV. That was 9 years ago. So, like, some of this stuff is, like, 9 years old. And yeah, it's probably time to do an update and stuff. 7 to 10 gigabyte per hour for a decent quality 4K. Yeah, well, there you go. So if I stream like 5 hours, there's like, you know, 50 gig. Yeah, exactly. So I just need more space and stuff. I just need a full-on upgrade, like I say, so yeah. Can I transplant my PC's SSD to Helen's PC? I probably could, but like, I don't even know where it is. I don't know. I thought it was behind me, but clearly I've moved it at some point. Yeah, I probably could, but I'm not really a PC guy either. So, like, yeah. It's something I need to, like, look properly into. I've got too much going on with the wedding right now to look into it. And I'll have to actually, you know, save up for a little bit too, so... Yeah. Like I said, I'll look into all that in the future. That's not a decision to be made today. Super easy move. I'm sure it is. But that still doesn't exactly help me, because it still doesn't exactly give me the monitor that I need and stuff. So, like, I could probably scrape together something. I'd rather just, like, do a full refresh at the end of the day, I think is what it comes down to, you know? I promise you guys, when I promise you guys when when I make a new PC and stuff, I will get all of your advice. So this is probably going to sound really dumb as well, but right now I have 3 monitors that are the same. The only difference is my newest, I have like a better version one that's like my central one that I use the most. And my big concern is that these monitors, they don't have like a 4K version. So I'm going to have to, if I get a new monitor to stream from, I don't necessarily have to replace all 3 monitors. But there's this really big problem, which is then they're not going to look the same on my desk, and that's really going to piss me off. That's really going to piss me off. So, yeah, a little bit of it is kind of a problem in my own making. But yeah, I think I just want to do a big kind of complete reset of the studio and like take some proper time to like think of everything, get everything new, and just kind of reset it all. So yeah. OCD 101. Yeah, but like right now they're nicely lined up. They're all at the same height. They look the same. I really like it because like they don't have like this. I feel like so many monitors nowadays, if this makes sense, like these monitors have like a flat stand. So like they take up quite a lot of desk space, I suppose, because they just stand like flat on the desk. But like so many monitors nowadays have this like pointy triangular like thing that they stand on, and like or like the 2 like legs that like stand outwards. I don't like that. I like mine. So I need to find one that I like the look of as well, to be honest. Like this stuff really bothers me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this stuff really bothers me. In the US, people register for gifts at certain stores. Could I register at an electronic computer store? Yeah. Maybe I should be telling everyone for my wedding gifts that we could really do with some WardiTV hardware upgrades. Yeah, no, I'm gonna attach it to the desk. Oh, I don't like that idea either. I'm such an old school person, man. I just like what I've got, you know? I just like what I've got. A couple of adepts moving around, Stalker and the Adept coming about, a couple of sentries setting up as well. Prober facility, Nexus coming through, Adept and Stalker coming online. Bulk gate building, as the couple of Adepts are going to shade up. And there's Oracle going to come across the map here from Trigger. We're tied up 1-1 in this series. Today's been a very off-topic kind of stream, guys. So I apologize. I know that's not for everyone. Some of us people really like it when we only talk about the game. But, yeah, I really, I don't know. Today's been kind of a chill one. Going off topic a little bit. Sentries and the Stalker going to be there. Oracle getting pinged back. Another Oracle coming through. Obviously, a couple of Adepts are going to be continuing to fight. As the Adepts are going to shade on through Sentry, and the Adept continue to move about, and the Adept's going to shade up to the high ground. A couple of Oracles go around the left side as well, and just sit tight for a couple of moments. Stalker Sentry going after the Adepts again, continue to push about. Gateway on the bottom side getting set up as well. Three, 4, 5 workers going down. Really nice damage being done there from those Oracles. That's a really nice little bit of damage dealt. Obviously, with this Gateway up from Mana, he's about to get some pressure applied right into this natural. So Trigger's going to have to prep himself for that. It is obviously, I mean, Mana is expanding. So, you know, when you look at this, he's got the expand, but then you see the Robo, you see the gates. Can we figure out as Trigger that aggression is coming? He's killed 8 probes. He's done great with these Oracles. Blink on the way. I mean, Mana really has a timing window here. But he's just going to have to go. And really hope he does enough, because The work at disadvantage he's playing at is not going to allow him to play a much longer game. He needs to do some work right now. Only one battery available currently from Trigger. Force fields available. Stalkers do not have blink, so force fields are great. Arguably could have called even more of these Stalkers in here. Right now, playing in the battery is absolutely fine as well for Mana because he's got the power of the two Immortals. They are extremely powerful. Force fields coming down now, trapping the Immortals in, but I don't know if those Immortals really care. Just need them to actually attack move rather than trying to focus fire the Stalkers, because focusing the Stalkers there was causing him to derp around a lot. Mana's army supply is just way too high, and Trigger loses his entire natural. Now, if you're Mana, I think you just head up into this main base and you just go. You can get rid of both these pylons. The Oracles are going to fly back in as a last-ditched effort to defend here, but now Mana's got the Prism here as well, so he can micro and he can warp into the fight. The Oracles are going to be low, kept alive nicely by Trigger, but I'm not sure they're going to make the difference. These gateways will not be powered up. He will have no warp-ins. He's building a Void Ray, but at this point, Mana can just warp in Stalkers, and that should be more than plenty. Another nice force field as well, hitting in between there, and just making sure that these Stalkers can't really get into reaches easily. So again, without that blink done, making it as difficult as possible. Trigger actually cancelled the blink, realizing he wasn't going to get much use out of it, just trying to get as many units as possible. We are hard targeting the Stargate right now. If we get rid of that, that really is the last chance of defense disappearing in this game. The Oracles went back across the map from Trigger, but I just don't think they'll ever find enough to make it worthwhile. It looks as though Mana's going to get the victory. I told you guys, Mana's been playing some great StarCraft 2 lately. He's been playing some great StarCraft 2 lately. GG, says Trigger, and Mana takes it, and that is going to be a 2-1 in this OSC mid-season playoffs. GG's. Let me check my check what's going on. Alright, how weddings were you from? Will I be making money from this celebration? I guess that really depends how generous our guests are, doesn't it? I would be absolutely amazed if we make money from this. Wedding expensive. Very expensive. I mean, maybe in the short term, because like I already paid a bunch of it off, right? So like maybe short term it'll be like, whoa, a bunch of money from people, lovely. But in the grand scheme of things, probably not, no. Yeah. Yeah. Look, we'll just have to do like a Twitch like a wedding sellout stream, okay, guys? The wedding sellout stream a week before the wedding, or the day before. Just get everyone that's visiting for the wedding to come on stream. Yeah, sell out a little bit. Live stream the wedding for you guys. So I just don't know if anyone's gonna work. Is there Zerg playing next? I have no idea. Who's playing next? No. ByuN versus Art, then Shin versus Percival. That's the only Zerg matchup. Series 5 is what you're looking for, AC. Alright, let me throw some ads on, guys. We'll get this Art ByuN series underway very shortly. Is Ellie invited to the wedding? We're kind of discussing what to do with Ellie. Ellie can't be there for the whole day. She's not allowed, but she is allowed there for the ceremony. But we don't necessarily think it's worth, because we're gonna have to drop her off at daycare, get daycare to bring her, and then daycare to pick her back up. So we don't know if it's worth her just getting messed around and taken everywhere. I don't think it's worth getting messed around and taken everywhere for the day, just for it, just for like her being there for an hour. So yeah, I don't think that's. I think we're probably just gonna drop her off at daycare and let her have a great day, you know. AC on the resub for the 2 years with the Prime, insane. Didn't even know you had a wedding plan going on. Happy for you. Congrats. Thank you so much. Yeah. Do the stag do on stream. 200 IQ. I'll let the best man know the new plans. Alright guys, yeah, let's get into this ByuN versus Art matchup. Some more TVP coming at you as we are at the halfway part of our day. This is series number 4. We've got 7 series in total. And yeah, ByuN versus Art. We're actually just working our way down the brackets. So some of the quarterfinals of the winner bracket are getting set up after this. So in the winner bracket quarterfinals, we have Solar versus Cham, Spirit versus Mana. The winner of ByuN and Art will play Skillers. None of that happens today. Just letting you guys know what to expect from future OSC mid-season playoff action. Should you catch this tournament in a few days to come, or whenever the next set of matches happen, I'm not sure what the schedule is. Usually these kind of streams get set up as enough replays get gathered from the players, and obviously that might be on hold if the players are all in Dallas and so on, so... yeah. I should do the WardiTV Spring Championship from the wedding venue. Or the Summer Championship. The wedding's in September, so... yeah, maybe the Summer Championship, we just do the playoffs live from the corner of the wedding venue. Yeah? Hello guys, tuning in for just one series today. Gun bottom right, Art upper left as we get into this TVP Oceanborn hour map. Like I see, series 4 out of 7 for us in total, so 7 series in total coming up today. Getting going. Typical coming through, next is coming about, and Barracks coming up. Still coming through, won't get coming about. Just gonna have ourselves the Reaper pulling back toward the upper left-hand side as it goes to scout around for the first few moments here. Oh, Cranky Ducklins, hello, how you doing? Thanks so much for the raid, welcome everybody. Hope you're having a cracking day. We have our Reaper gonna show up and put some damage in. This is the OSC mid-season playoffs where series 4 out of 7 today. We've got Shin versus Percival coming up, ShoWTimE versus Bunny, and Nikoract versus Arafire all on the way after this best of 3 as well. So yeah, we got a couple hours of StarCraft in us. So hello, welcome, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Helen and Wardy co-cast when? I don't well, honestly, I think Helen's analysis would be amazing, but I'm not sure you guys would be quite prepared for it, to be honest. Stalker gets there, Reaver gets chased away. How old is Art? Oh, I don't know. This is Polish Art, right? There's 2 Protoss Arts. Yeah, this is Polish Art. Polish Art must be like, I want to say mid-20s because he's been around for a long time. I feel like he's had school. I feel like he has a job now. I'm not 100% sure on that. Like, that's something of a prediction on my side as well. Maybe Wikipedia knows. Sorry, I'm tabbed out, so the FPS will drop for a second, guys. He's 27. Yeah. That makes sense. He's one of those guys that always couldn't play in a bunch of tournaments because he had school and stuff and studies, and then I think he actually just has like a normal job now. Could you believe it? Could you believe it? Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted looking at Wikipedia stuff. Riddermine shows up, retargeting, just trying to buy as much time as possible where these probes are not mining. Unburrows, reburrows, Riddermine in the main base, going to try and do a similar thing. Oh no! Only 3 workers go down, so a little bit saved in the end. A little bit saved from the initial expectation. As Reaper continues about as well for the moment, moving around. Stalkers, Reaper, going to get chased around a little. We're continuing down to the bottom side, just going to come across there for the moment. SCVs, tank, engineering bay and bunker, continuing to come up. We'll go on a little bit of a journey. Tanks coming through, again the probe on the way, had a forge on. A little bit of everything coming through for the moment as that Raven gets all the way around to the top side of the map for now. Just gonna get that rolling. A few Stalkers coming in from the left side as well. Just gonna blink around a little bit. Make their way about again, +1 of that stim pack coming up also. Get that underway. Stalker's just gonna retreat home. The Raven obviously sitting in a nice position where he'll be able to auto turret the third or the main base. Just some choices of harassment here as well from ByuN in the next few moments of the game. Also continue to get this selling. Yeah, charging the gates all building up. Stimpack +1 and combat shield will be coming online. That reactor building on the factory as well. Finishing that up very shortly here. But mine just still chilling in the center. Getting burrowed up. A couple of Stalkers are going to step through. We'll see the Reaper actually. And ByuN is going to actually... I was going to say, he actually does pull it away in time. But then the Stalkers have Blink, which is kind of an unfair advantage there. As we take that Reaper down and we push it out of there, so it gets chased away for the moment. +1 in charge, still coming through. Stalkers and sentries gathering as well. +1 stim and combat shield will continue up. Just going to see the Marine Marauder MindelVK come through. The Widowmine still coming in. And again, the +1 the charge building for the moment. Bio Army still trying to just send it toward the upper left-hand side. Up we go. Stalker's going to be there. MindelVK's going to get intercepted. Goodbye. MindelVK 1. No. Come on, how does that not die? MindelVK is so sneaky, man. Gets to live. Survives through this one. You're actually going to just back away. Playing Oceanborn, I guess I didn't explain this map, but Oceanborn is a map which is voted in by the players as part of the OSC extended map pool. So, obviously, so used to seeing Oceanborn in such a regularity. OSC plays with a few extra maps than usual, so this is exactly that. This is just going to be one of those maps that gets brought back in. There's another couple maps here that are added in as well. We'll talk about them if we see them. Yeah, you know what it is? I saw this force field. I was like, oh my god, it's Oceanborn. And this force field stopping the progress up the ramp. Yeah, it's a classic. It is a classic. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Always good to mention the first time we see one of these maps on a day. As we see the Zealots trying to charge on through, but Bio just kind of has enough power to stand there and fight. ByuN did a lot of slowing down of Art's kind of army initially. As that Immortal goes down, and those Stalkers are going to get chased, and I think that's going to be Zealots in the main base of ByuN, so he has to go deal with those, but otherwise... And he's winning the fight on the other side, so he might lose his main base, but he's killing his opponent's third and will have an army left over after. Unless these Zealot Warpins can get a lot done. To be fair, a Colossus is about to pop as well. Said he's still holding on to his main base, and there's only a couple of workers behind as the Colossus, and it's going to get chased down by the Marauders, and reinforcements showing up too, going to make this a continued push in to see success for ByuN. He's going to take game 1 of this best of 3. That's going to end up a game ahead. Alright, we'll get into game 2 then. ByuN taking the 1-0 lead. Alrighty, game 2 will be on Ultra Love. Let's get this hosted in and get this started up. Hey, what's up, Iridian? Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you for the content. No worries. Thank you so much for supporting. I'll be getting married soon. Yes, in 3.5 months. Do I know if ES also have the rest of the player cards? What, the big ones of ByuN? For the year I brought home, a bunch of people took them home, and the second year the players got to take them all home. Wardy, you heard I was a physics expert. Any tips for your GCSE physics tomorrow? Just use the equations, bro. I don't even know what do you even get taught in GCSE physics in this day and age? I don't even know what is in GCSE physics. It's been so long. The formula sheet is your friend. You get a formula sheet? Oh my god. Yeah, if you get given a formula sheet, make sure you read the formulas instead of, you know, just thinking you know them all. It's a classic. Yeah. Formula sheets? What's the world come to? What's up, Crowlin? Setting up office for the day in your stream. Let's have some good games. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Made really good handicrafts, my failure project. I forgot about those. The Andigraph, that's funny. God, I've not heard that term in like literally 10 years. It's kind of free. I mean, if you have the equations, it's kind of just math, no? You just put the math in. I don't know what else, I don't know what a GCSE physics exam looks like anymore. Those days are a bit far gone. You guys had formula sheets? We had formula sheets, and I can't believe we had formula sheets in GCSE physics. There's no way we got formula sheets. I absolutely cannot believe it. I don't think I ever got a formula sheet at any point, at any exam I ever did in physics. I think even in university we had some open book exams where you could have the book. But like, I mean, maybe we did. I don't know. I don't remember them. Maybe I just remembered it all. Did I have a calculators back then? No, we had to use the abacus, actually. Back in my day, we had to use the abacus to figure out the distance that the car went. Ay. The beautiful thing of physics is remembering the formulas is actually not as much of a thing, because in theory you can just figure out all the formulas on the fly because of how the units work, right? Like once you figure that out, then you just, you know, yeah, I mean, if you get given them, then just go wild. You can derive them too, yeah, you can just figure it all out, like. Some people will be like, what? I feel like you either have like a mathematical / physics brain or you don't, and if you have it, you can just, you know, it will just make sense anyway. And if you don't, it's like, what the hell do you mean you can just figure it out? Hallucination gonna pop out, Stalker gonna be there, pushing the Reaper back the other way. There's formulas and constants. I remember we got constants. I don't think we got formulas, no? I know we got like given some of the numbers to use, but like the formulas, I just can't believe it. Maybe I did though. Maybe I just don't remember. We got some. I just don't remember. Anyways, Marines just going to be coming across. So we're just going to be seeing the Cyclone chasing the Stalker down. Some ambiguous ones like Jewel. Yeah, but a duel, by definition, is something, right? So if you know what the definition of a duel is, then you also know, you know, you can figure it out still, no? A duel is just a short way of saying, you know... It's like if you wanted to call a meter per second like a stalker, you know? It's like, as long as you know what a stalker means, then you can still figure it out, right? I think the most important part of GCSEs is just chill. It's gonna be okay. They're not that important at the end of the day. You revise, you're probably gonna do fine. Just don't panic in the exam. Ooh, one of my favorite ones is also, is every question has an answer that you know how to do, right? Like, every question has a solution that you know. So if you don't think you know it, think of all the things that you do know, and think if they could apply to the question, you know? You see what I mean? Like, that's a good one. And my other favorite one was, I remember there was definitely one point where I had a question which I had no idea what it was on about, but I was like, hey, the only topic that's not being covered in this exam is this topic. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. And yeah, that's a classic as well. They like to ask you a little bit of everything, you know, so... yeah. That's just good general exam technique, in case you get stuck, but... yeah. Just keep calm, you'll be fine. I remember, so... I actually missed all of my AS levels, because I had a really bad appendicitis. I was in the hospital for, like, 2 weeks or something. I missed all of my AS levels. So I didn't sit any exams for like an entire... I did one math I did one of my math modules, and then I missed absolutely everything else. And when I came to do my exams again, when I first sat down in my first exam, I was like so confident about what I was doing, because it was like the exam I was meant to sit the year before, but I'd missed it. I sat down, I was so confident, I was very happy. I got into the exam and I freaked the hell out, because I was like, oh my god, I've not sat down and like done an exam in like a year and a half. I'm like... like, this entire process of, like, how to do exams is just, like, it's just gone from my head. I, like, hardcore panicked for, like, the first 25 minutes. And then I, like, got myself to chill out and told myself I was being stupid. And I was like, right, look, it's just math questions. Let me nailed it. But, like, yeah, just go in and feel confident, be chill. You'll be good. Good defense from Art. He just cleaned up ByuN's army. Let's talk some StarCraft, shall we? As, we have ourselves this entire force just sitting down on the bottom side. ByuN just getting cleaned out, and I mean, ByuN may just have to hide away on 2 bases for a little bit right now. He's got a 3rd CC finishing, but moving out might not be easy after so much goes down here. Prison gets over to the left. The rest of the Stalkers continue to gather together. Nexus coming through. The Robobait about to finish. +1 attack will be done in a few moments also. And I think ByuN is still actually fine overall. This looked pretty scary for him, but the worker count is only 4-5 ahead for Art, which is actually not that great. It's good for the fact that ByuN's currently on 2 bases, but if ByuN can just get out from the 3rd base, he should be kind of fine. Art going to try and dive in with the Prism, take some damage on the way in because of the turret, which he will get rid of, so the Prism will have an escape route if he wants to use it. Can maybe save some of those Zealots and just use this as a diversion. Puts the Prism in the corner. I think it's always better to get the Prism out up the left side, because you actually killed the turret, so I actually think you could have got the Prism out up the left. Putting it in the corner just means that one Viking kills the Prism now. And that's not an impossible thing to build. He's going to try and escape through the bottom. Okay, I mean, this works. He makes a move with it sooner, sooner rather than later, which is fine, but then ByuN is still somewhat in position from before, so maybe it's not going to do that much. Now we load up again, and he's going to go back toward that corner rather than... Again, he could have probably just flown out to the right or had a chance to. Again, it feels safer to kind of do this, and he's just going to recall the Prism, so it's not the end of the world. So you do still keep the Prism alive, which is obviously important here. Just have our Stalkers getting warped in. There's a lot of Zealots back on this other side. A lot of Zealots gathering together as the Colossus is going to have that extended thermal lance soon. That +2 attack coming up. Temple Archives and a couple of gateways still building into play. Bio stepping forward. A couple Stalkers going down. The Zealots will be taking some shots. Mine's going to go off. A bunch of those Zealots going down. Continue to trade out. The rest of these Zealots taking a whole bunch of damage. That's a lot of damage done. Again, Stalkers and the Colossus going to go the other direction for a few moments. A couple Marauders trying to jump on top of this. The Prism is going to go down. The Colossus will fall. And we are going to have a full cleanup. So ByuN takes a pretty great fight. Getting rid of the Colossus, always amazing. Taking away that kind of potential of the Protoss from the game. Just resetting that Colossus count does so much for you. Because you can see right now, High Templar's on the way, but suddenly you're going to have to stop spending gas on your tech switch and instead spend gas on your rebuild and rebuild some of those Colossus up again. Or you don't build the Colossus, but then you're missing them, and obviously you wanted Colossus, otherwise you wouldn't have built them in the first place. So definitely a costly set of losses for Art. Costly losses? Kind of sounds like Colossus. Oh my god. Colossus has the word loss in it? Protoss? Have to build a unit with loss? Oh my god, it's all coming together. I don't know what the logic there is. I don't know what we've just figured out, but it feels like we figured out something major. I'm not going to lie. Next units warping in. Zealot Stalker coming through. Another Colossus on the way up. As we just have our army in the center from ByuN. Gonna maybe pull back to deal with the Zealots attempting to run by again. Wouldn't mind going off. A couple of those Zealots taking some nabs for the moment. Ghosts, Vikings still come through. The army in the center, Zealot, Archon, Colossus. Moving up a little bit as well. Couple Vikings move over to the side. Command center comes down into the center on the low ground there. You can't losses with Colossus. Instead of stacking Colossus, you should stack co-winners. Okay, I should have. Honestly, I see a funny joke, and I should really just leave it alone and let other people be funny with it, because every time I touch it, it just goes the wrong way so quickly. Alright. We do have Sunstar coming up. ByuN attempting a 4th base. I mean, look at Art go, though. He's got the base count coming up, right? 5th base coming online, doing that very nicely so far. A couple disruptors, the +3, the +2 continue to come around for now. 2-2 upgrades, chip weapons coming up, and the MindelVK Ghost Army still collecting together as well. +3 attack very much so still on the way. The +2 armor coming about. The army of ByuN will make a move out over to the right-hand side. Back down to the bottom, still the rest of this army from Art looking for a little bit of a push in toward that 3rd base, so looking for this opportunity here. A couple of ghosts step up, EMP's coming down. Disruptor shot will fly, but not quite land. The Stalkers trying to get in there as well. We knock the cooling tower down and just create a complete blockade here. ByuN is happy to buy himself time and slow the Protoss down a little. He is happy to just get more tech on the field. He's coming up to 2-2, ship weapon upgrades, so he's got reasons for the game to kind of go on a bit. Is behind on upgrades in general as some Zealots hit the Planted Fortress there. These Zealots are going to go down. The Prism is just being cleaned out as well, so that's going to be a shutdown. And Art is once again going to be positioning in the center. Disruptor flies in. Those Marauders taking some hits. The Vikings going to go and get rid of a Colossus already. That's the last Colossus in the game at the moment, so it's now going to be Disruptors and the Archons as the tech to try and carry us through at the moment. Pulling around the left center now. ByuN moving forward a little bit. EMP's available. Disruptor shot again. Going to fire up. And we try and push our way in here. That's going to be another Disruptor shot that kind of comes through. Another one that we kind of just dodge past and away from. They're not connecting so far. Another Disruptor shot is going to connect. I mean, Art losing a fair amount, but ByuN is eating some Disruptor hits, which is not pretty. The Vikings on a journey seeing if they can find anything on this left side, but I mean, there's a couple of Zealots here and there, but they've not found like the Prism or so that I think they're just hoping to find randomly around the map. They could land here and kill a Pylon, kill a Nexus. There's nothing really nearby just yet, so yeah, those Vikings have potential. They actually do very well against structures, better than you'd expect. Vikings are genuinely an okay ground unit, huh? Kind of crazy. Disruptor shot again coming through. Disruptor's taking damage. A couple of Zealots taking hits. Another Disruptor shot comes by again. 3 upgrades continue to come about. +2 ship weapons coming over. That Disruptor goes down once more. Just going to get that cleaned up. The Stalkers and the Archon still moving through. The Zealots continue to come about. Zealots continue to take damage, continue to take hits. I see there's a couple of Liberators coming around one more time. 11 Zealots still warping in, as you just see. Apparently not going to have enough. Liberators there too, just going to power up that army a little bit too much. That's going to be GG's. That is going to take us to a 2-0 for ByuN. Alright guys, let me throw some ads up, and we will get ready to head into our next match. It's going to be, I think, should be some fun. Percival against Shin. Percival's been playing great lately. Been very fun to watch. He's actually been much better than I thought he was going to be, so let some ads play out, and we'll get ready for this TVZ. Shin will still be a favorite, but like I say, Percival's been competitive lately with some of these other top-end Koreans, so... Cool. Alright, couple of moments. Take a few seconds. Are warping in Protoss buildings still mechanical? Yeah, because things don't change during morphing to, like... Things are just a thing once they're morphing, right? Like, they already become a thing, no? That's why when Zergs morph, the Roach becomes a Cocoon, because then its stats are different in the Cocoon, and then it's different once the Ravager pops out again, no? Is that true? I actually don't know if that's true. That's wrong, no? I don't know what this is just come into my head that's told me that Roach morphing to Ravager take no damage. I'm thinking of freaking Lava Legs for some reason. No. It just has the stats of a Roach until it finishes morphing, right? Okay, what was my initial point? I've completely forgot what I was trying to make a point of that I was wrong about. Oh, gateway is changing. Yeah, maybe they could. But I think it's just because it's a gateway the whole time, right? Like, it doesn't change. Like, it's not a building gateway into a gateway. It's just a gateway the whole time, right? Are TOS buildings mechanical? Are TOS buildings mechanical? I feel like no. I think they're armored. Yeah, armored in a structure. Yeah, not mechanical. Gateway to warp gate. Yes, that's different. You were entirely wrong. You were wrong, but then I was also wrong with what I was trying to say too. We're all wrong. Amazing. It's amazing how wrong we can all be. Alright, let's get into Shin vs Percival, guys. 3 series remaining. Actually, look forward to this one and then the next one as well. The matchup between Bunny and ShoWTimE. I actually think should be pretty fun too, so I think we're in for a pretty fun day. In the top left-hand side, the red Zerg player is going to be Shin. Taking on, in the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Terran player, Percival. Like I said, Percival has been on that improving kind of grind lately. Been looking good. Was a match away from qualifying the GSL. He's genuinely been improving since he returned from. He played Stormgate for a while, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe some other things as well, but he's been in the StarCraft grind recently, like I say. And he's been genuinely pretty darn good at it, so... Yeah, been cool to watch him, cool to see some of his games develop in a little while. The pool and a couple of drones coming up as well. I don't know why they throw their mechanical. Honestly, I don't know why I think half of the things in this game anyway, too. Sometimes, even after casting this game for so long, I have a thought, and I completely convinced myself that that thought is a thing, and it's just not true at all. Or like, you suddenly think, wait, is that a thing? And it's like, you second guess it, and you're like, your brain just, like, goes into, like, breakdown. It's like, surely I should know everything about this, but now I'm second guessing myself. What do we do? Couple of SCVs, nibbles for all these Zerglings, as the Queen will help to get the KO, so the SCV scout from Percival to try and ensure he knows what's up. And so, yeah, pull first from Shin. Keeps him very safe in case Percival was being overly aggressive. What is interesting is that Reaper has gone across the map, meaning that these Lings are going to show up and they are going to delay the command center, which is unfortunate because obviously against the pull first, it's exactly what the pull first wants to do. Delaying the CC is a win, as we are not going to get too much more done. But yeah, obviously delay an SCV on the low ground, get the kill, delay the CC, and then we force a few SCVs off the line to help fight this as well so far. Is there a way to queue units faster? Yes, you want to reduce the repeat rate on your keyboard, or increase your repeat rate. So basically, like when you hold down the button to produce a unit, your keyboard, if your repeat rate is higher, is going to repeat that key press much more quickly. So if you increase the so basically if you type on a Zerg's keyboard, if you every time I go to Home Story Cup, you know, there's a bunch of PCs downstairs and everyone's set up on different ones, and sometimes you just hop on a PC quickly to like search something. You can always tell when it's the Zerg player's keyboard because you go to type something and the letter you type shows up like 7 times. It's like I'm trying to go to Google and I go to Google because everything just types like 7 times and I'm a fast typer as well, so I barely hit these keys. But yeah, if you look up how to change your repeat rate, that will make it happen faster basically. Like I press my G down and you see there's that delay as well. There's also repeat rate delay, so it like delays before repeating. You can get rid of that so it just instantly like shows up. So yeah, that's probably the best rate to increase the queuing of production stuff. It's external. It's literally just yeah, it's just like in your keyboard settings on your PC. Yeah. Queen going down. Queen's gonna get bopped a little. It's gonna be seeing the roaches, the drones continuing through. Banshee Hellions and the cloaking coming up as well. As you see a tech lab coming through on this barracks to get that started just for a moment. Factory going to lift off, go over to the reactor. Let's just have ourselves this Overlord taking a few shots of damage as well. Did Shin open gasless? Yes, he opened pool first into late gas. So yeah, he was just now getting into the roaches and the lair and stuff. Not super common, but something you can of course do when you are playing the ZVT, especially if you want to play into the roaches, right? It's just a very economic way of getting into a roach opener. Don't waste anything on speed. Hellions come back, gonna get healed up on the healing shrine. It's actually, I wonder if it's something to do with this map a little bit as well, because we have seen these Hellions using this healing shrine so much for Terrans lately. I wonder if by going roaches, we kind of set up in such a way that Yeah, I wonder if we kind of set up in such a way that basically you can basically kind of just deal with the Hellions more frequently rather than the Hellions healing up, coming back, killing another round of Lings, then you have to build them again, right? I wonder if there's something... You know, this is one of those moments where maybe I could be an interviewer. I'd be like, hey, Shin, is there any reason, like, does the healing shrine affect your build order choice in this game? There you go. It's taken us 5 series, but we finally found a good question we could have asked if we had the players on afterwards. There we go. 3 drones go down as we do see the Hellions and the Reaper coming back across that right side. Couple of drones going to get nipped and nabbed at. The damage being done on those. The 1-1 on the stim pack coming up. The drones continue to fall. Our Roach Speed, our Carapace, our Infestation Pit, all building around. The Banshees come into the main base and they're going to go for another couple of drones, or at least try to. Split damage though. Percival will have his Banshees pushed away for the moment, so not able to do much more there just yet. Again, 1-1 upgrades in the stim pack building on the side of Percival. Can't imagine he wants to take any larger fight until that's really all kind of there and in place. Still got this Overlord out the front too, just chilling. And yeah, 1-1 combat chill coming about. These Marines going to unload underneath that Overlord and just go and chase that away. Infestors coming up as well right now, so still building into this. Bane Nest and the Hive continue to come online. D-Medivacs go up to the left. We'll be heading into that main base next couple of moments. It's going to be seeing the unload. We've seen those Corrosive Bars coming in. The Medivac going to get chased away to that left side. On the top right, the Banshee going to go after the hatchery. So able to put some damage in there as the Marines and the Medivacs come back through. The Marines just going to go in and hit that Overlord, take that out. Additional roaches on the way. The Overlord's building. The Hive is about to complete. And again, go knocking that rocks down. The Banshee will continue to hit the Queens, taking some damage. 1 Queen going down already. 2-2 coming up. Alley upgrade and the Baneless Speed coming around. The Ultra Cavern is going to be very much on its way as well. Oh, a Fungal landed on the left-hand side. What a fight that is from Shin. My goodness. Gets a Fungal. Obviously, you can force the fight on those units. They can't just pick up and retreat for a while. And Shin actually maybe looking to push the momentum there. And he sees with the Zerglings the amount of Marines that are already reinforcing those. He says, maybe not quite just yet. Maybe not quite the play I'm looking for at the moment. So coming out of that Fungal, looking good. You have the Ultra Cavern about to finish up. The 2-2 upgrade still building on the side of Percival. Command Center going to be completing in a couple of moments. We'll get that CC finished up right now. As we still have the, again, Ultras coming through, the Viper on the way, a couple of Queens building. Just going to be having the Medivacs heading into the main base. And these Marines are going to begin to unload and go at it. So, unloading right here. It's going to be seeing the Evo Chamber going to be taking some damages. +2 melee denied. So, yeah, we get an upgrade denial. And, I mean, Spawning Pool would be really nice. Stop the Adrenal Glands coming online. That really changes just how good those Lings are, but not be able to stop that just yet as the Queens will come into position as well to zone the Medivacs. We're going to drop to the low ground where the rest of the army's showing up. We're chasing an Infestor here. We do not get it, unfortunately, so that's a missed play as the Infestor lives through and the Ultra plays clean up. Now actually going to come chasing straight forward using that Ultra to tank. Fungal Growth lands on just a few of the units off over to the side. I mean, the Ultra is just tanking its way through everything at the moment. Gets to the low ground. That tank going down. A few Banes here. Going to be, oh, so close to connecting. That Fungal Growth nearly got what it needed. He hit those Marines and the Banes connect and everything is dead. We actually nearly got the Corrosive Bile and the Medivacs that were fungled after, but just a moment late. And Shin, though, still winning these fights and actually is going to get these units anyways. The Percival unloaded them too soon. Everything but 1 Marine dropping. The choked up area, so you may not really want to fight in here. There's still a little bit of a question to be asked at the moment as the Blinding Cloud comes down again. We continue to push on through. The Ultras and the rest continuing to come across. We chase straight on through at the moment. Another couple of Corrosive Biles landing onto the siege tanks. Again, Roach Ravager Ultra. It's going to continue back the other way. The unit's going to chase away more on the other sides. And adrenal glands coming up, +2 melee coming through. +1 vehicle weapon starting on that armory. You see the Ling Ultra Ravager continue to gather. Ling Ultra comes to that left side. The Medivacs lift up, peel away back into the main. 2 more Marines just dropping off, and again just going to go in after the Queens for a couple of moments here. The Lings are going to continue over. Both Queens going down. Percival still getting something done with the drop play, but Shin is ready on the other side of the map with Ultras and Ravagers to maybe make a play too. And but we're about to finish. +2 melee coming out. The spine's poking around. The Ling Ultra Ravager out down to the bottom. I mean, we are maxed right now, so we are set to go as Shin. He does not really see any reason to slow down or to halt at all right now. He kind of just wants to go for this, I imagine, is going to come down to the bottom. The Ling Ultra starts to chase on through. The Blinding Cloud hitting a few siege tanks here. We get ourselves straight through the center. It's going to be making our way into the natural. The engineering base is going to be in trouble. I mean, Percival just doesn't have enough. I think we can all see that is clearly the case. Not much else to add. Shin just took really good fights throughout the game. Percival never really quite got to do enough damage for the moment. Alright, we're going to get into game number 2 here, guys. Keep the games rolling. I'm going to be going to Ultra Love. Oh, I didn't realize the ads were so close. Guys, just going to run a... I'm going to have to run the ads. I don't have a snooze available either, so just give it a moment or two. Sorry. Appreciate your patience. Run some ads and get back on track. Ads are like 4 minutes away. I have no idea how. I have no idea how. Most of the games are indies in here ready. It's built so OP, you can just make Ultras an A move. Isn't that how Zerg's always been? You just make Ultras an A move? That's how it feels when I play against them. Like, whoa, I had to move my Lings to clean up your drop one time, and now you've got Ultras an A move. Crazy. Where should you watch? Here or YouTube? Which one is better for Wardy? Whatever is better for you. Watch wherever makes your day better. When you make Ultras, they died in Marauders tanks or ghosts in 0.1 seconds. It's a skill diff, I guess. Play against me, they won't die that fast, I promise. Alright, 1 minute 30. I think we can get started, guys. Thanks for a little bit of patience. We got the ads going. Get this rolling. In the bottom left-hand corner, we are going to have ourselves the red Zerg player. This is going to be Shin, and he is up 1 in this best of 3. Heading to a game number 2 now, as we take on the blue Terran in the top right corner of the map, Percival. Game 2 of this best of 3. Tipper coming down, hatching the gas coming up. Barracks going to get started as well. I'm just going to see the refinery coming through as well. SCV also in production for the moment. And the Rex and the SDV just building for the moment. Doing some copy pasta. Yay. Guys, why don't we just have a moment or two then, and we'll just take a quick second to obviously maybe do a little shout-out section. How about that? If you're enjoying the stream today and you're watching on the YouTube stream, do consider hitting the like button. Take half a second to scroll down, hit that like button. While you're down there, you can subscribe as well. So we're live with more StarCraft 2 on the channel. It really does help. We really do appreciate it. So, like I say, give it a moment, give those clicks. We really appreciate it. If you're on the Twitch, you can help us on the YouTube as well. I really am going to try and push 50,000 YouTube subs this year, guys. So if you guys want to help us on Twitch, if you're watching and you would like a free way to support, get on the YouTube. I'll pop the link in the Twitch chat. And just subscribe. Like the stream, subscribe. That's all you got to do. It's free. It takes a few moments. Like I say, push those numbers up. At some point, YouTube's going to be like, holy crap, people are subscribing to this channel. And then they're going to tell more people to watch. The YouTube algorithm works in weird ways, so numbers good. There's the TLDR, so go check that out. And that will be my sellout. I'm not even going to ask you guys to spend money. Look at this considerate streamer. Not even begging for money at this point in time. Crazy. Has Wardy made too much money? He's not even asking for our primes. Sure, that'll be the Reddit conspiracy next week. Command center in the orbital continue to come up for the moment. As you see, the Link Fleet coming through, the Queen getting built, the factory lands onto the reactor, and the barracks going to move off over toward the main base. Reaper continues to move around a little bit. There's a couple of Lings and the Queen going to be firing. The Reaper will be taking some shots. The command center and the starport continue to come through. The Queen just going to be there, and the Reaper getting pushed back once again as the Overlord's still getting settled for a moment. Well, Hellions will just get chased out onto the map. Obviously, the Banshee and the Hellions following as well, so just going to be seeing Hellion Banshee for the early stages. Reaper and the Hellions joining up. A couple of Queens going to get buffed around by the grenade. So they step up over here. The shot's still coming around, and well, he's going to get a few more hits off in that mineral line for now. Clock coming through. Again, the Banshee and the Hellions continuing up. Queens, drones, all building. Overlord just goes for the scout through. Obviously, it's the triple CC. Overlord sees. I mean, you see the timing of things. I think you're pretty okay to assume there's a third command center behind this. I don't think that's something that you're really guessing at still as Shin. You've played enough games in StarCraft 2 to know the timing difference of, the timing of the Banshees and stuff. Hellions trying to step forward. The Reaper as well. The Queen's going to be there, pushing those Hellions back. Drones on the way through. Spore Crawlers coming online. And the Hellions are going to get around the left-hand side. Going to try and get into this natural mineral line, the third base mineral line here. And we get a couple of drones. Nothing too major just yet. Just going to back away from there after. Engineering base still building. Barracks still coming through. And again, those Hellions are still just on the precipice of danger, right? Just trying to threaten mineral lines as best as possible. Banshee escapes up the left side. Again, a few Hellions in the middle. Queen's gathering up. As the Stimpack comes through, Bane's Nest comes online. Bring that all into play. We have the Evo Chambers and the lair up as well for the moment. And yeah, Stimpack and a couple more barracks also coming into play right there. The Queen's turned around the other direction. Again, Evo Chambers, Bane Nest continue to come about. Hellions and the Reaper are going to come around too. Just going to be seeing the Queens are going to be there to hold that off. Unfortunately, these Hellions are going to go down. They don't really get much for their value either, right? So, okay, we actually get 6 drones. But, I mean, that was the Hellions and it was the Banshees. So the Banshee's also dead at this stage. So that's all of the Terran's early game investment just completely gone. And yeah, 6 drones is nice. It slows the Zerg down. But you get slowed down as well now, because you've got no map control. The creep spread is going to push out onto the map. So you slow the Zerg down in one way, but you lose so much of your control in other ways. There's always got to be the question of, was that good enough? Was that enough of, enough damage done to justify this commitment? I think that, I think that is still kind of up in the air right now. Rocks go down, Marines into the center. Have ourselves the couple of medevacs coming through, the Widow Mines coming across as well. And yeah, we got our 1-1. Combat shield building, Ling Bane on the way by. Marine, Widow Mine, medevac heading down to the south. Things will just load back up. That Widow Mine retargets onto the Banelings, love that. Cute little play from Percival. Takes the supply lead for a couple of seconds here. As the medevacs load up again, Marines just getting lifted back once more, and we escape away to the top side. 1-1 upgrades on the combat shield continue to produce, continue to bring that in. As the hatchery and the Hydras coming online, still got group spines coming along with it. Marine Mine medevac comes around the left and just going to be seeing a couple of Widow Mines getting burrowed up. Widow Mines going to fire onto some of those lings. Bang, bang. Marine's going to be fighting. Lings going down. A couple of Banes getting target fired. Guys in the corner, a couple of those Marines taking some shots, so jobs are getting pushed away, a little messy, but we are getting there. Queen's gonna get there, Medivac's getting pushed back. I mean, still getting a defense going off at the moment. Stepping through, a couple of creep teamers going down. Fun fight with the Banes coming in from the other side. Another Widow Mine getting picked away at. 2-2 upgrades coming around. Just going to be seeing the Lings coming over. And still stepping forward. Another little bit of creep going down again. As we have our infestation pit coming up. Bio going to go for another couple of Zerglings. Going to get a couple of drones. It's going to go down as well. It's going to be seeing 2-2 still coming about. Bio coming about as well. Banes going to be jumped on. Oh, I thought we were going to get all of those Banes, but we stopped targeting them. On the left side, Bio still fighting. Just going to be seeing the Hydras and the Banes continue to come through. And Hydra Bane gathering about a little bit. Just going to be seeing the Widow Mines aiming for those Zerglings. 3+3 armor coming through. The rest of the Bio coming about. And extra Lings and the Hydras coming online at the Hive on as well. The bottom right side, Medivacs get pushed away for the moment. A couple of shots coming about. Let's see, the Zergling's going to get flash away. I mean, Percival trying to hold this middle of the map position, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do enough here at the moment. Let's see Shin engaging in once again. He's had a couple of really good fights, but it just feels like he's suddenly surrounding everything. The mine going to go off. A few Zerglings going to get caught. Plus 3 armor coming up as well, as you just see the Lurker Den, Spine Crawler continue to come through. Hydras and Bane's going to come about. I think just shove at this point may just be enough. Symphony SCV is going down. The Ling's going to continue to come about. It's going to be seeing the Lings will continue over. It's going to be seeing the SCVs all dropping on the right side of the base, going down as well. It's going to be more than good enough for Shin to take the 2-0 convincing series and advance on through to the next round of the OSC mid-season playoffs. So congrats to Shin. Alright, we're going to get into ShoWTimE versus ByuN. For our next series. Just wondering if we can get straight into this, so if we need ads. I think if we run ads, then we won't have to run ads for the series. Let's just do that. I'd rather run ads between series than between games if possible, so we'll just do it here. Oh, let's stretch out, guys. So we got this best of 3 between ShoWTimE and ByuN, and then we got Nikoract and Arafire, and that's a day. That's just everything. It's kind of wild. And hope everyone's doing well. So OSC have given us some games to cast today as well. Appreciate it. Alright, let's get it. Let's get it going. Alright, yeah, let's get into this, guys. Thank you for a bit of patience while the ads tick through. Let's get into ShoWTimE versus ByuN. in the bottom left-hand side, we're going to start things off with the red Terran player here, Bunny. While in the top right, our blue Protoss player is going to be ShoWTimE. Actually, a very interesting series. Two very contrasting styles here. ShoWTimE, the defensive, happy-to-go macro player. And then you've got Bunny, who's the all-out aggressive, throw your kind of, throw everything in the kitchen sink at your opponent Terran. So, like I say, a real clash of styles between these two. As we set up, the probe coming up this ramp. Begins to nibble up at the SCV for a couple of moments. Looking for some initial bits and bobs of damage. As the SCV goes chasing the probe the other way. Keeper in the orbital, coming on through. SCV nibbles. Probe going to take some shots. Just going to be seeing the Reaper in the orbital. Coming about for the moment. And the CC coming online. Well, next in the cyber core. Coming about for the moment. Returns all the way back. Probes coming over. The Reaper of Bunny still moving around a little bit as well. CC finishing. A couple of units jump into the bunker. We have ourselves the Hellion and the Marine coming up. Starport on the way. And Deb going to come across the map as well here from ShoWTimE. He's just going to be bringing that over to the other side. Alongside the store, going to just try and poke around for any information that you might be able to gain in those early stages. So, we have the Blink coming up, the Warp Gate coming through. The Gateway's on the way about as well. Just going to get both of those online as we get the Blink fully in operation for the moment. It's honestly, a pretty great round 16 match. OSC mid-season playoffs in general this time around has some great players. I mean, I saw Trigger Mana have to fight round of 16 before as well. Like, the next rounds of this tournament are going to continue to heat up for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how everyone does there. There's a couple of Marines will continue out on this barracks. A few Marines there are going to chase the Adept away just out the front. And that Adept will be hunted and pushed over through the center. The Hellion's actually into the main base on the other side, so that is going to be a couple of probes going down as ShoWTimE scrambles up a defense against that. The Stalker's still trying to chase. The Hellion comes back around to the front here. The Stalkers will get a connection. Hellion going down. 3 workers killed. And again, Blink still coming online as we continue to settle. Both those tech labs coming up here on the starport in the factory. The hallucination still moving around as the medevac gets chased around a little. The few Marines gathering together. And yeah, Stalkers, Sentry, Adept in the middle of the map here on ley lines. ShoWTimE already kind of just, being active, poking about, gonna hallucinate to get some info before he commits anywhere. This medevac, if you can catch that and shut down this Widow Mine drop before it happens, would be amazing, as ShoWTimE is kind of en route to do so. The Stalker's just gonna poise over here, and they are gonna, like I say, see the medevac. No, moved a moment too soon. Oh, ShoWTimE. He was so close to being in the perfect place. And unfortunately, he's just going to move away, like I said, the wrong timing here. Now he probably thinks it's maybe up at the top. Wow. He just second-guessed himself a little bit. He had the right idea, but I think he just thought the timing had gone. And in fact, the timing was still just coming. Either way, there's still going to be a reasonable defense. We do not kill... Oh, we do not kill the second Widow Mine, though. So actually, the second Widow Mine gets away, so it's an okay defense. It's actually nice for the Terran player who gets 1 probe per Widow Mine and actually then gets a Widow Mine that can stick around and come in again later. It's just another annoyance for the Terran further down the line. So nice for the Terran player. Bunny able to do well in the end. And like I say, ShoWTimE was so close to getting on top of that before it even became a thing. Well, unfortunate in the end that it didn't happen. Sim Combat and +1 all building up from Bunny, so those upgrades come directly into play right now. And ShoWTimE will obviously try and be a little bit aggressive before they are done. The Medevac's actually coming back home, which funnily enough, if we're not quick here as Bunny, is going to cost him the Medevac because the Stalker's just going to kill it. ShoWTimE AFK gets rid of that Widow Mine drop, and yep, that's just going to be very nice. Wondered if he moved the unit away from the natural because he realized that it was gone. A lot of units here as the hallucination shows up. There's no way we blink into this, so ShoWTimE not going to go committing there just yet as we step back. +1 on that charge still coming through. Stalker coming around as well. 2 Stalkers from ShoWTimE still coming over to the bottom left side. Couple Medevacs load up. They are going to go boosting. It's actually maybe got potential if ShoWTimE's out of position with all of his Stalkers focusing on the front. If you don't do anything while those Medevacs are missing, if you don't realize those Medevacs are missing, it could be a big problem. And both those Medevacs back away. +1 gates coming through. The Stalker's going to get there. They're going to get a Marauder. A couple of Widow Mines going down as well. It's a good start to the fight for ShoWTimE, honestly, but like I say, you've got the double drop on the other side, and I'm not convinced ShoWTimE has much to deal with this right away. It drops straight into his natural. Probes have to pull. He brings a few Zealots, a few Stalkers over. He's going to recall back to deal with this more quickly, but now you're going to have to ping back over to the left side ASAP, because there's also going to be that reinforcing wave of terror and the rest of the units coming up the left side. So we honestly deal with this pretty well. How good a position can we get here as Bunny arriving on the left? I mean, ShoWTimE's going to be here. He's going to get a few Zealots warped in already too. Bunny is still just playing the 2 bases. Third CC will start up, but it's only just starting up now, so... Oh, ShoWTimE, does he not realize? He doesn't realize the army's there. He thinks the army backed away, or he's going to try and base trade. Either way, he used his recall already, so that's on cooldown. I mean, okay, he knows that army is still there, so he's just going to go around the back and pick up some reinforcements. What does Bunny do? Does Bunny pull back? Does Bunny commit in? Bunny's going to commit in. It's kind of interesting, though, because it's obviously 3 base versus 2, so from ShoWTimE's point of view, if he does serious damage on the natural, that's fine if he gives him his 3rd base doing it. The thing is, he gets stopped by a bunker, so he doesn't even do that much over here. Like I say, Blink is on recall is on cooldown, so you can't get home easily. Only halfway through the cooldown on recall. ShoWTimE supply block. This went absolutely wrong. I actually think he had a better army to fight with. I actually think he could have taken a good fight, but he just... And he knew the army was up there, was killing pylons and stuff, and he just went across the map. Like I say, this sort of a move is maybe okay if you've got recall available. This sort of a move is not okay in this kind of a situation. Because in this situation, it's just a no-go. Straight up, it's just a no-go. As you can see, it just does not work out in his favor at all. GG's. Bunny gonna take game number 1 is, I think ShoWTimE just made a bit of a, like I say, a weird move out. And like I say, maybe if you get into the natural, it's fine. But without breaking into the natural, disaster levels of play, unfortunately. GG's. Alright, we're going to get into game number 2, ShoWTimE and Bunny, as we have a second map, and it is going to be Bunny with the lead, 1-0 in this best of 3. So again, ByuN advanced on to play Skillet in the round of 8, by the way, and Shin will play the winner of this ShoWTimE Bunny series. So that's what the round of 8 looks like in this OSC mid-season playoffs. Again, those games are not today. Just giving you a heads up that, hey, this tournament is looking pretty awesome. The bracket is looking pretty darn good. And I would recommend you guys try and catch some more OSC mid-season playoff games at a later point if you guys see it on the TL net sidebar and so on. This tournament usually is just broadcast by a bunch of different streamers. Whenever there's a few replays together, OSC reach out and ask if we want to do a stream for them. Either me, or sometimes Steadfast, sometimes the Ducklings, sometimes some other guys, you know. There's a lot of different people coming together to put the streams on for this event, which is really cool. Always feels like a nice little community effort, you know. ShoWTimE is going to be in the bottom left, down a game in this best of 3. He fights against the blue Terran. In the top right, it is Bunny. Bunny. game 2. Engineering Bay block to start off the game on that bottom side. Just going to get that off, and the few pros will come nibbling through. Let's see if we're just going to come around and just have ourselves the Reaper coming about, Cybercore coming up, Nexus coming in. Like a question from earlier, but I'll answer just in case you end up hearing it. Who is Art? You never heard of him? Must be good to be playing this well against ByuN. He's a Polish Protoss. He's always been good, but he's never been full-time StarCraft, if I'm not mistaken. He's always either been in school, studying, or having a job. I think he's one of those guys who, if he went full-time, could have made a surge toward the top, and maybe made some playoffs, and made some names for himself, and took, you know, and all of that, but he always just kind of took StarCraft 2 as more of a hobby than a profession, I suppose, right? So he's very good, just never really had that kind of time for him to be one of the very best. So, yeah. After coming online, the bunker coming up, we have the refinery and the reactor continue to come into play. The Adept going out across the map here from ShoWTimE just makes its way to the upper right-hand side. The Twilight Council coming through as well, just for the next few moments, as the warp gate continues to come into play. So yeah, bunker coming around on the natural. And center coming up. Adept going to fire, Reaper taking some shots. Bunker is going to be done, and the units can jump in there, and that Adept is going to have a tough time getting much of anything done. The SCV even runs away. The Reaper hops out, and the Adept will go down. Cost to the Reaper. Definitely makes that a little interesting, I suppose. Thinking the warp gate still coming online. And again, a couple of Marines in the starport and the orbital coming up as well. What's up, Ling Lad? Thank you so much for the kind words. Happy to even have us on at work. No worries. Happy to fill your work day with some StarCraft 2. Again, just in case you didn't hear earlier, guys, just to reiterate, today is my last stream until Monday. Unless I find a chance to go live for a couple of hours here or there, but obviously it's Dallas this weekend, so there's nothing else to really stream. There's not much else going on. It's all about Dallas, so I'll be off tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be back on my channel on Monday. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys there for WardiTV Monday is 37. So, yeah. And then the week after is a bit weird as well, because I'll probably stream something on the Tuesday, but the Wednesday I fly to Poland because I'm going to Kalaris's wedding. So, the next week or two just gets a little bit weird with stuff going on, and so on and so forth. We'll do as many streams as we can, but if you don't see us or you don't see me on my own channel around as much, it's just because I'm doing other things. We'll be back with you ASAP for the StarCraft, but yeah, next week especially I'll just be gone for a few days straight, so just a little reminder for you guys there. Gateway gets into the warp gate. Blink is coming up, the Stalker and Prism continue through. The Hellion still making its way to the bottom side of the map currently, as we just go journeying across, trying to see a little bit of what's happening. Again, still in the +1 building, the barracks and the refinery coming up. Blink and our Observer coming through as well for the moment, as the Stalker is going to shoot. The Hellion will take some hits. What's happening in Dallas? Is it a personal trip? No, I'm not going to Dallas. It's DreamHack Dallas. It's the EWC qualifier tournament. $50,000. All the best StarCraft 2 players in the world will be playing this weekend. Stalkers hop up. Reactor will take a few shots of damage. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of siege tanks will come through as well. As the barracks lifts off, goes over to the tech lab. Factory going to move in as well. Stalkers still on their way around for a few moments here as ShoWTimE is going to try and threaten up in toward this position. So in we go. We're going to try and hit the natural and get some damage out of it. The Stim, the Combat, the +1 all continue to come on through. And a couple of gateways and that forge continuing up as well. Probes and the charge upgrade coming by also. Still have the MindelVK around that top side, just going to be full of Marines. Actually going to get intercepted. Nice catch from ShoWTimE. Beautiful shutdown. That medevac going down instantly. Again, that's one of the benefits of having presence here. And that's why it's so scary for Terran to get stuff on the map. Because if it gets caught, that's just -10 supply freely so quickly and so easily. As the Prism heads up that right side and into the back of this main base to try and see what we can do. A couple of Stalkers pinging away at the SCVs. Marines are going to stim up. Just going to go after the Prism for a few moments. The Stalkers and the Adept in the center are going to gather together as well. Still got the Combat Shields and Concussive Shells coming up. And again, the Prism moving around the top side for the moment. And yeah, +1 in charge will continue to come into play at the moment here. The Bion will fight. The Adept and the Stalkers will take some damage. A couple Stalkers in the back, going to get some SCVs as well. On the other side of the map, we've had the Raven showing up, and that's where some of the probes are going down to. So that's where some of that damage will fall from. Just for now. So yeah, the Stalkers continuing back onto a little bit of this Bio. Tank showing up behind. We'll get some damage done as well. And we will have a good few probes and SCVs going down on both sides of the map currently. That Robobay is going to be finishing up very shortly, so we get that Robobay completing. Meanwhile, Twilight Council still getting the charge up and running as well, just for the moment. Advance into building from Bunny in the main base. The Prism comes out over to that right-hand side. Marauders coming about, the Raven coming through the bottom. It's going to see the Order turret going down. A couple of those probes still getting jumped on. 2 workers going down. Bio Army continuing across to the south. Again, +1. Colossus continuing to build. Orcas and the Zealots coming about as well. Still seeing the rest of this army from Bunny stepping across right now. Now I'm going to be seeing a couple of Zealots are going to go charging through. Tanks get sieged. The Colossus taking damage. Bio getting a great jump on towards that. The Colossus goes down immediately. Bunny just gets to dive into the natural. This has turned into a pretty quick disaster all of a sudden for ShoWTimE, who is going to lose 12 workers. Robo facility depowered. Obviously, one of his Colossus went down already. Gets the cleanup over there and the unit left behind, but the Bio unit is just absolutely shredding through. ShoWTimE just falling apart so suddenly. This side of the map, we've got a lone Zealot from the Prism and try and do something, as it's got kind of the odds stacked against it after all the damage just being done by Bunny. One Zealot I don't think is going to play catch-up for you there. ShoWTimE in a world of trouble. After the opening was so good for him as well, Bunny's army comes across, hits hard, and this 2-base Terran, who's going to a 3rd CC now, you know, is not just being committed to the 2 bases, but he is now just going to be in such a fantastic spot, getting into the 3rd base, applying his favor, still has the momentum on the map as well. His opponent's, you know, tech count is completely reset and slowed down because the Robo was depowered for a significant period of time here too. You have to recall the Prism away, so ShoWTimE has to use his recall to make sure that the Prism can stick around a bit longer and maybe have another chance here in the next little bit. This few Zealots still moving around, heading toward the top. SCVs moving over as well as the Bio Army continues to set up. A couple of those Zealots already dropping off, +2 attack, and the Colossus coming through as well. The Orbital Command will drop down onto the 3rd base. Just going to put that straight into position. Units going over to the far right-hand side. Prism joining up as well. And again, just the Prism loading up wherever we can for now. Colossus and the +2 attack upgrade will continue to build. Again, a few SCVs, the Medivacs, the Ghost Academy, continuing on line 2. +2 attack, the Zealots coming about. Bio actually wants to take a chance to try and drop down to that low ground. The Stalkers going to blink around, a couple of Marines coming over. The Bio continue to be there and fighting. Vikings going to try and move over, and we are going to see ShoWTimE obviously has to make a defense right now. He lost a lot before. It's going to be a difficult defense. Widowmines are going to go off, hitting a lot of the Zealots. There's so much Bio. GG gets called, and Bunny overwhelms for a Game 2 victory. 2-0. What a lot of 2-0s it is. Everything being a 2-0. Mana Trigger was a 3rd game, right? I think that was a Game 3, but I think everything else has been a 2-0. Damn. Well, as we move through all of those winner bracket matches, was a lot of yeah, a lot of 2-0s, but yeah, winner bracket plays out. Like I said, I'm excited to see the next round of this tournament. Solar versus Sham, Spirit versus Mana, ByuN versus Skillers, and then Shin versus ByuN. But even the lower bracket's going to be pretty stacked up. I mean, obviously ShoWTimE is going to be dropping down there now. Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. Like, the lower bracket's going to be getting stacked up. I mean, the bracket's even larger than what I currently see on Wikipedia. Give me a second to have a peek at what the lower bracket truly looks like right now. Although the lower bracket hasn't started to play, but even down the lower bracket, a lot of good names going to be taking people on. Very fun. Alright, it's going to be Nikoract versus Arafire, which is a lower bracket round 2 matchup, guys. So that's what we are heading into next. And that's going to be our final series today. When is the next stream of this? I don't know. Usually what happens is that the players play the games at their own schedule, and then when there's enough games for a broadcast, OSC reach out and they just say, hey, do you want to do a stream? And then we do a stream. So there's not really a hard schedule right now at the moment. So yeah, I can't tell you any future plans for this, but yeah, apart from just kind of keep your ear out where it may be taking place. Maybe Nikoract Arafire will give us a game 3. Maybe Nikoract Arafire will give us a game 3. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Am I going to be casting Dallas? I may or may not be casting Dallas this weekend. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. But yeah, I am. That means I'm casting. Yeah, I know. But like, I mean, in the past, like, we used to wait for a talent announcement, but I don't think that's coming. So, yeah. I said I was yeah, I mean, as long as you guys don't go shouting about it, you know. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be casting this weekend. Not in Dallas, it's just an online broadcast. It's a bit of a shame, but such is life. 3 days out, they haven't announced anything. 2 days out, no. It's Wednesday, starts on Friday. In 48 hours from now, I need to be there. I need to be at it's my call time, so. I also this was really dumb when it's like, hey, please don't mention. Sorry, one sec. They used to be like, hey, please don't mention until the talent announcement that you're casting. It's like, okay, and it's like, hey guys, I'm flying somewhere today. Can't tell you where. It's just conveniently 2 days before the next big StarCraft tournament. It was always a bit dumb. Always a bit dumb. I guess ads are done. Let's jump into ads are done, and the confusion of Indy was like, wait, where's this series from? Like, it's OSC, and he's like, it's not on the bracket. I'm like, oh yeah, because it's not on Wikipedia. It's on it's on the official bracket, you know. So yeah. Yeah, no, just to pick up where I went silent, but yeah, it was always really funny, like flying to a tournament, and being like, well. Yeah, guys, I'm actually flying to I'm flying to Katowice today. I wonder why. Yeah, it was always really funny. I made a lot of these tweets or Instagram stories while I was stood in the check-in line at my local airport at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm just like, still no talent announcement. And then usually I'd like land like the day before rehearsal, and like as I land, usually the talent announcement is coming out. I'm like, there it is, retweet. Yeah, I really don't think they're going to announce anything for this weekend though. Nikoract, our red Terran top left, typically a very aggressive Terran player in a meta that is really favoring aggressive Terrans, or Terrans being aggressive I should say, is going to be a rather interesting one, as he is in the top left-hand side. In the bottom left, our blue Protoss is Arafire. I actually don't really know what he does in PvT, if I'm going to be honest with you. I know him as the proxy robo kid for PvP, and I just don't know if I've casted enough of Arafire to really tell you what his style is in this matchup, you know. No bias, but Poland is unironically lovely. Well, I'm going to Poland next week. Yeah, this time next week I'll be in the airport or heading to the airport to go to Poland. The beautiful Krakow. Yeah, that's for the Kalaris wedding. Not for any StarCraft. Unless Kalaris is going to host a StarCraft 2 tournament at his wedding. Heard it here first, guys. The rumors have been released. If we all tweeted Kalaris asking him if he has the bracket for the Krakow tournament next weekend, maybe he'll make one. Peer pressure. Peer pressure. We're gonna chase the probe away. It gets pushed back around out to the center of the map for an early few moments. The Adept in the Warp Gate coming up, factoring the command center coming through. And the Adept is going to go for a little bit of a shade out up to the top side of the map as well. It's just going to come straight up to the top. Twilight Council building, the Nexus is on its way in. Stalker and the Warp Gate in production as well, so we get all of that on the go as the Adept will continue to shade its way through the natural and into that mineral line. Look for some potential damage here as the SCV will take a few shots. Adept is going to shade out, and the other Adept coming back over for a couple of moments. They're actually going to see two Adepts at the front then as the Hellion will try and poke against them, but two Adepts should be able to hold their own and hold this position for a little while, so able to keep that going. We don't mind the Marines continuing about. Just going to get that blink from the Warp Gate coming through as well. Hellion just getting turned away, the few Marines coming through. Gateway, Robo coming online. That will shade down to the bottom side of the map, so just going straight through the center here for the moment. Again, the blink and the Robo continues to come in. And just have, again, Marines and the MindelVK building as well. MindelVK just comes around that left side, going to go into the main base next few moments. Stalkers are going to set up as well as we have the Widowmine and Marines beginning to unload. Just have ourselves the couple shots coming about. Marines are going to fire back. Widowmine just going to be chilling there. The blink coming through for the moment. Widowmine connects. Stalker's going to fire. The Widowmine taking shots. And again, the MindelVK going to get chased away into that corner. Does not get anywhere. With the Stalker shots, Widowmine and MindelVK live, or Widowmine and Marines and the MindelVK live, so we get to kind of hide that low HP, so it's easily shut down later. But it does mean you potentially have to keep units there, which is annoying, rather than just being able to send everything across the map and start finding some value. 3 Stalkers right now are being committed to the defense, so now the Raven comes down as well, so some potential to do something with this, and that could create an opening for that MindelVK to get out as well. If the unit defending the main mineral line pulls across to deal with the auto turret, and maybe the Widowmine gets to unload at least, and maybe we get one more shot off or something along those lines. Stalkers going to see Marines and a tank or so moving out. Like I say, I would not be surprised to see some very, very aggressive plays here on the side of Nikoract. That's just him in a nutshell. Before, the meta in the last couple of weeks has been to just do this even more heavily than before. Nikoract has been kind of a very aggressive terror in a lot of these TVPs anyway, so not surprised in the slightest if he continues in that kind of a direction. For the moment, Marines in a tank or two, gonna go for a couple of Stalkers, Adepts getting chased back. A Charge and the Immortal coming online, Stimpack and the +1 coming online as well. We are going to scan. And it's gonna fight, we head down to the bottom here, the Nexus will settle. Just gonna be seeing the Marine Marauder Medivac coming through too. And the Marines just going to get in at the moment, so it's going to be connecting on through there. A couple of tanks sieging up, and we will have ourselves... The Stalker's going to try and just blink straight on in. Nikoract's army does not look that hot right now. These tanks go down, the Marines are going to take damage. This has been a pretty comfortable shutdown, though. Good defense by Arafire, who in the game, trading very well, 1.1 to 1.7k resources. It's a very decent trade early on for sure. Arafire sounds like a gamer brand name, and Nikoract sounds like a nicotine gum. I do agree with the nicotine gum brand name. I always think of that when I think of Nikoract's name. Like something along those lines. I don't know what I think exactly, but like, I am 100% with you, if that makes sense. I don't know if I've had the exact same thought, but like, yeah. Arafire is a gaming brand name. Kind of, actually. I see that too. And yeah, could believe it. Stalker's trying to come around the back. Stalker's actually all over the place because this Bioforce just lets them walk by. Not going to go and pick up on them. Continues down to the Bio. That means the Stalkers do come to this mineral line. A couple of those SCVs already beginning to drop. We do have the rest of the Bio coming over. Wouldn't mind getting set up there as well. And you have on the bottom, the Bio did make that commitment in. Force come down. The Widow Mines are going to be pretty good. They actually splash pretty heavily there, so the Widow Mines do very well for themselves. And the Stalker's trying to get underneath. There's only a handful of Stalkers here, though, but the unload was very slow. So we actually do lose one of those medivacs, and now we actually just stand and fight, which did not really feel like was necessary for Nikoract. I think that was a gift of units. He could have just kept on leaving. Like, he could have just ran. He did not need to stick around there once that first medevac went down, but he did, and that kind of cost him all of the units, and now Arafire taking a pretty comfortable position here in this game number 1. The only thing really stopping him from kind of diving right through is those Widow Mines. They are a little bit scary. You got to respect the splash damage they can provide. But with another round of Zealots woven in, Arafire has a lot at the moment, and he's going to come stepping through. The Widow Mines will end up in trouble. They're still tanking some Zealot shots at least, which is something. Give the Bio an opportunity. Some SCVs pulling forward, but they will not do anything. GG gets called. And Arafire is going to end up taking game number 1 of this best of 3. So Arafire taking the opening game of the series, and will be up 1 in the series to try and advance on through and stay alive in this lower bracket. Again, this is lower bracket, so the loser of this is out. I think that's the first lower bracket match played as well. So yeah, the loser of this is just straight up eliminated, and we'll be going home with, I believe, nothing. I don't think there's anything if you lose out this far down. Alright, get game number 2 on the way here, guys. Get this settled on in. And thanks for joining us today. Some OSC mid-season playoff action. Appreciate you guys. Sorry, just getting distracted by a Discord message. Jumping to game number 2. Exclamation mark 2025. Yes, the WardiTV 2025 series, guys. Crowdfunder is still ongoing. I don't think we've mentioned it today, but if you are enjoying the WardiTV tournaments, obviously this is not one of them. This is by OSC, and shout out to OSC and everything that they do. But obviously, like I say, we do have the WardiTV 2025 series. Crowdfund is still going on. If you want to check that out and support it, exclamation mark 2025 in the chat. We're trying to raise more money to give to players. I know, it's crazy, right? But we just want to give money to players, so help us out with that. I don't want to go on too big a spiel because we're already in game, as Nikoract is down a game in the bottom right, and Arafire is up a game in the top left. No cast for the next 2 days. I will not be here at all on my stream until Monday. Yeah, I will not be on my channel until Monday, but there is Dallas Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so there will be StarCraft over the weekend, just I will not be streaming. I might, on one of the days, go live like a couple hours before Dallas and do like a couple of like GSL replays I didn't do already. Because I'm away the week after for a lot of it, I would like to kind of do another stream, but if I do something, it's going to be very sporadic and it's going to be very, yeah, it's going to be kind of out of nowhere. And it really just depends on how I'm feeling and how long the Dallas days end up being. Which channel should we watch? Yeah, I wish I could tell you. They haven't told me. I've got no idea what where I'm casting this weekend. I just know I'm casting. I would imagine it'll be called like EWC or something. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure. When do DreamHack brackets usually get published? We don't know. Usually we would know by now, but everything's different this year because this is not like a DreamHack event. It's a EWC qualifier. So like I said, I can't really... I honestly can't really tell you anything. I've got honestly as much information as you guys. The only thing I know is I know which casters are casting when over the weekend. That's literally the only thing I actually know about this tournament. like that's probably the only thing I could actually tell you. So yeah, it's an open to. Yeah, in the past they kind of pre-released like group stages a little bit, but like maybe this time they'll actually just wait to make sure everyone's there at the same time on the same day and just release the whole bracket at once then. Yeah, I don't really know. Adept in the WardiTV coming through. Adept is going to go shading about for a little bit here. The command center SCV and the Hellion coming through as well. Factory building as we get it rolling. And yeah, CC just coming up on that natural, so we get that building through. In the center of the map, the Adept continues to shade down to the bottom right. And that Twilight Council building in the main base. They're coming about as well. Creepers on the Hellion continue to come over. It's going to see the Adept still moving. What's the best way to keep track of all the StarCraft events without someone that doesn't have Twitter? I don't even think Twitter is very good, actually, so you're not missing out there. You should go Liquipedia or TL.net. The StarCraft Liquipedia is actually very good. It will tell you all of the featured upcoming tournaments. You can filter it to show you upcoming tournaments of certain levels or certain sizes. I always like TL.net because you can go to the right side calendar sidebar, and that kind of gives you like enough rough idea of what streams are coming up, but honestly, nowadays, Liquipedia probably does all of that better. So, yeah, just the StarCraft Liquipedia. It's extremely good. It's extremely good. It's very well done. It's very up to date. Yeah. Like, Liquipedia, like, for example, when I run events as well, I give all the information to Liquipedia. Like, I let them add it all to Liquipedia, and to me, that's officially it being out in public as well, so... Yeah, Liquipedia is very, very good. Maybe Hellion breaks through here. Actually cancelled the tech structure that was in the front. I imagine that was a robo. And is going to get 10 probes out of it. So cancelled robo and 10 probes is pretty ridiculous for some Reaper Hellion, no? I can't believe it's done quite that much. That's really kind of wild. As the Stalkers go down to the bottom right-hand side. We've got Marine Marauder still coming out. Siege Tank and Stim coming online. And we got Blink, Robo Facility, a couple of probes building. And Arafire will try and come back to the other side of the map here, but I feel like things may be a little bit too far gone for him. I think he might be in a bit too much trouble. This early game really did not go well. Let's just be plain and simple. Tank fire is good. Gonna zone those Stalkers away, keep them back. Now this is The problem with this opening for Arafire is that Nikoract is so happy to be aggressive. I don't see a way that Arafire survives when Nikoract hits with Stim and Combat Shield. I think he's going to pull the SCVs, because why the hell not? And I think it's going to be an attack that is actually not possible to defend with the units that you have the ability to afford now as Arafire. Because those 10 pros just went down so early. Yeah, I think he's in trouble. Pros is fine because he still has more workers. No, he's not fine because he's had to spend time rebuilding those workers. And he's not on more workers by that. Like, Nikoract's been cutting some workers as well. I don't think he's fine at all. Like, he's getting back to that worker count, but he's doing that while having been on less economy. And this is a point where either you'd have a third base starting, or because your opponent's clearly being aggressive, you don't build a third base, you really focus on unit production, but you're already at that worker count where you don't need to build more workers. But because he's had to keep building workers, that continues to eat away at his money as well, right? It's one of those times where the worker count does not give you a great representation of where the game is at. Yeah, I mean, Arafire just doesn't have a whole lot else. I mean, this Nexus is not exactly going to help him right now. You can just see his army is not coping with this well at all. There are the boys as Nikoract gets going. Force field coming down. ByuN step up. A couple of the Stalkers going down. A bunch of the Stalkers going down. There's just not enough units here. Too much done. As we are going to be seeing the pylon going down, depowering the gateways and Robo. And Nikoract is going to just absolutely blast across the map. GG. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nikoract cut SCVs as well to make this attack as powerful as he could. I'm pretty sure. I didn't see it exactly at the time. I'm pretty sure some of the worker count difference is because Nikoract cut workers to make sure that this was going to hit hard with a capital H. Oh, capital H-A-R-N-D. Why not a capital everything, you know? It was pretty brutal. Pretty gosh darn brutal. Alright, game 3 of Nikoract versus Arafire. Let's get into it. Thank you again for being here today, guys. It's going to be our last game of the day, so we do get a game 3. Now we have ourselves a last game of the day. Love it. Alright. Thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate you all being here. Let's get ourselves into this final map. In the bottom right-hand side, we're going to be going to Pylon to decide this series. There's going to be our red Terran player. In the bottom right corner, it is Nikoract. Arafire, the French young'un. In the top left, our blue Protoss. If StarCraft 2 continues to have a competitive scene for a few years to come, I actually think Arafire might be one of those guys that rises to the top. He's young, he's got potential, he continues to improve. I think he's the kind of player that still has a lot of possibility in his play. It's so sad Wardy's stream is ending. What do you do now? Well, you hope this game just keeps going. Or you load up the YouTube and you throw some VODs on. I mean, one or two things. You've either not watched every single stream, in which case you'll find something you've not seen on YouTube, or... Here, listen to this. Or you've watched every single stream, which means there's no way you remember them all, because you've watched so many. So you just go back to one away back with some cool players, and you just go. You know what I mean? You're gonna thumbs up all the YouTube videos for me? Thank you. I appreciate the commitment. Always great to see new talent in a game this old. Yeah, it's a bit weird because Arafire feels like he's been playing for ages. But like when I first casted Arafire, he was like 12 years old, you know? So it's like, it feels like he's been around for a long time, but he's still only like, he's still super young. What's up, KJ? How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 93-month resub. Wardy never ends. Wardy forever. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for continuing to support. Super appreciate it. Thank you. You sure Wardy's tricking us that and I'm going to be in Dallas? I can absolutely promise you, if I was going to be in Dallas, I would be flying today. I promise you I'm not going to be in Dallas. What am I going to get out of tricking you guys that I'm not going to be in Dallas? Oh, I'm going to play in Dallas. Oh, I see. Yes. God. I see. The gig is up. You're right. I'm playing in Dallas, guys. Customers the airplane Wi-Fi. Well, you see, I can actually travel a day late because they understand that I would just steamroll my first few opponents. So they actually just said they will give one special seed and they'll give it to me, so I can start in like, you know, round 7 tomorrow or on Saturday instead of having to play on Friday. All the players going to be there in person? Yes, all the players are going to be there in person. What's happening in Dallas? It's DreamHack Dallas. It's an EWC $50,000 qualifier this weekend. I'm saying it a lot, guys, because we need to tell people that it's happening, because it'd be really nice if people actually, you know, knew and were able to go and watch. It'd be a real shame if they didn't get to see those games, right? So yeah, just trying to let that be known. With the Hellion is going to be firing, and Adept going to be taking some shots. One Adept shades away. Gotta be careful, Arafire. Nikoract is coming across the map with this Reaper Hellion force. And we know how that ended last time. That basically ended the game last time, so let's hope maybe not as dramatic a result this time around. Shots coming through, a few hits coming around. Cloaking coming up, the Banshee and the Marines coming around as well. Just going to see the Reaper Hellion is going to get after a few of those probes. So a few workers going down again. Banshee and Cloak all coming about for the moment. That robo facility and the gateway coming online. Blink building. Factory going to start up the siege tank. The Banshee in production. Still got that blink just coming along here for the moment. So bring that blink through. Ourselves settling down for the next stage of this. But Nikoract is still going into very aggressive selection of units. Look for the Banshees, obviously Banshee production. Then with that, tanks and Marines on the way through as well. Let's just invest into a few things there. Is see the Stalker, the Observer coming on through. The Banshee going up to the top side. Stalker coming around. Still got charge building in. This is the Banshee. Gonna get another probie. The Stalker's gonna try and get there. Banshee gets chased away. Actually not bad at all, right? Good defense. Banshee getting turned around quickly. You don't waste a lot of time hanging about there at all. That works very nicely. Charge building, Stalker coming up. A few additional gateways coming about as well. So we get all of that coming through. A couple Stalkers will just head down. Banshee will take some damage. Marines are gonna get there. That Stalker already taking a few hits as the other Stalker's coming about. Tank siege. Stalkers get pushed the other way. It's going to be having our Marines coming back over. Banshee in the main base. It's a bit of a shame we don't have a defense for that because obviously we knew about the Banshees already. It goes down. But 3 probes, a little bit of lost mining time. Nikoract threatening the idea of going across the map. Will he commit? Seems like the answer is no, not just yet. Stimming combat on the way. So if he does anything, it's probably going to be when that stimming combat shield is finished up. More than likely. Yeah, Nina's gathering up on the top side. And we'll just see again the stim combat, the +1 all coming through. MindelVK, not two on the way up as well. Continue to bring that bio into play. The few extra probes coming around. We scan. We're just going to get some pickoffs. Barracks moves over to the tech lab. Factory relocating a little bit as well. For a few moments here. Just going to be having again this upgrades all coming through. As soon as those upgrades are done, expecting Nikoract to commit because he's on 5 barracks. So, I mean, 5 barracks, no third base. I said Nikoract was an aggressive player, and this is very much so going to be him living up to that aspect of his gameplay, so shouldn't really be coming as too much of a surprise. Alright, well, step 4, a couple Stalkers already going to be there. A little bit of Marine Marauder. Can take some damage right off the bat, and we do see those Stalkers getting punched the other direction. Now Bio goes up the right-hand side for a couple of moments here. Also coming down, obviously this is the big push we've been talking about, as Nikoract is now pulling the SCVs, by the way, so he's gonna, catching them all, that just rallies the wrong direction. Robo will go down, so the SCVs are coming. Ideally, you don't really fight before them, because they're gonna create a good buffer line, and a good chance for you to kind of get the advantage. +1 finishing shortly, gonna give you the upgrade lead here as well. Arafire Templar Archives, not sure that's gonna get a chance to do much. I mean, what, we're gonna try and morph in Archons with these units already here? Probably not gonna happen. I think the timing for that is just a little off, unfortunately. As the Zelda are going to try and charge on through. We do get rid of one of the siege tanks. The other tank, though, is still alive, and just so much bio. The Immortal doesn't do anything. We get up toward the main base. No slowing down right now from Nikoract, who just has too much. GG's. Nikoract 2, Arafire 1, and that is going to be our series. Nikoract will survive through to the second round of the lower bracket, while Arafire will be, unfortunately, eliminated from the OSC Championship. GG. GG's. Alrighty, guys. That was a fun little day. It was not a super long day. It was a fun little day for sure. Alright. I don't really have anything else to say, guys. Like I say, I'm not going to be live on my channels until Monday. Unless I do like a sporadic stream if I'm just waking up and feeling like it or something. But probably not going to be here again until Monday. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Yeah, I'll see you in the early parts next week. Next week I'm away Wednesday until Sunday. So next week I'm only really here Monday and then probably Tuesday. And then I'll be away again. So yeah. TLDR, I'll not be around as much for the next little while, but we'll do as much as we can, obviously still bring the StarCraft. When we come back, I'll be obviously running as much as I can. It's still awkward because there's other tournaments happening. There's all of the, all the other things basically are still going on, and as long as those things are going on, it's still a little bit awkward for us to run stuff easily, but we will do our best and run as much as we possibly can. So yeah, I appreciate you all. You guys have a great rest of your day. Like I say, I am casting this weekend. I'm casting Dallas, so you can still see me. You just won't see my stream. So make sure you come and find the stream for that. Alrighty, guys. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys on Monday if you're there. Or on the Dallas stream over the weekend. You guys have a great one. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And shout out to OSC, by the way, again. OSC, again, giving us the games today and always running cool tournaments, supporting tournaments as well. And, yeah, shout out to OSC. Just thought I'd throw that in there at the end. Bye!